HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Wednesday, July 19th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Coming up on OTB, we're live from the SEC Media Days. Hour number 1 from Nashville starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
What's up, y'all? Welcome into Off the Bench. I'm hesitating to open the show because my voice is done, and you know me. At this point, I can't say with any form of legitimacy why is my voice done, because I know why it's done. I was honky-tonking a little too late. I was honky-tonking a little too late tonight, Jake.
Yeah.
I didn't smoke any Joes, no heaters. There's still not been a
heaters.
single heater consumed.
Okay.
But I
good.
did honky-tonk my ass off last night. Rivers, you were there. What do you think about my sweat levels from last night?
I was saying this to Jake earlier. I have never seen a human glisten the way that you were glistening. It wasn't like dripping sweat, right? It was just like a nice, like, glow. It was a sheen. It was just like an angel light was following you around, and all you could see was just the glisten.
So
I've never seen anyone dance like that. You were really...
I was honky-tonking.
I will say,
haven't been in a bar in a long time. Like I've been in bars for obviously, like, look, every Wednesday I'm at Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
We do whiskey and wine at Down One. This felt like college a little bit. Like I haven't been like out going to bars, just being able to dance around, listen to music, and
you did it.
I got lost in the sauce a little bit, boys.
At one point, we couldn't find T-Bob, and I asked somebody, I was like, have you seen T-Bob? And I can't remember who it was, but they were like, nah, he's definitely ditched us. Like, he left. I was like, no. That's not T-Bob. T-Bob doesn't ditch us. He gets deeper into the heart of the party.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah.
I was like, let's
That's
figure out.
actually incredibly intuitive.
I was like, let's figure out where the most fun part, or funnest? Most fun? What are we looking for?
Most fun.
Most fun part of this bar. That's where he's going to be. And you know what? Suddenly, it was like they knew we were talking about him. Colin Baton Rouge came over the loudspeakers, and I was like, let's follow it. And there he was. There he was.
Wow. Did you request
No.
Baton Rouge last night?
No. That was weird.
Oh,
that
my
was weird.
God. I can't believe you did that.
No, I broke off from the group for a minute to go all the way down, because everything here has like multiple stories, and every story has somebody playing music. So I broke off from the group, and I went to the bottom floor to get a couple drinks, kind of get the vibe, see what the people are doing, see the music. And then randomly, when I went back upstairs, Colin Baton Rouge comes on. So it's a bit of a sign. We go ham. It was very fun. Then there's a bar, and they got Aaron Murray's jersey on.
Oh, my
the
gosh.
second floor.
Yeah.
A band has all Georgia jerseys on, including the Aaron 11. So we bring Aaron up there. We force him. They're dancing or whatever. Aaron gets on the stage, and the singer goes, "Hey, man, what's your name?" And he has on the 11. He has on the Georgia 11.
Oh, no.
He's like, "Hey, man, what's your name?"
Did y'all explain it to
Well, no,
this
Aaron
dude?
goes,
Yes,
I have a video.
yes.
Aaron, he's like, hey, boss, what's your name?
Yeah.
And Aaron was like, you're wearing my jersey. But it turns out, we talked to them later, it turns out there was a girl singer.
Yeah, the girl's the Georgia
She's
fan.
the Georgia fan. So this guy
Yeah.
went to, like, Appalachian State. He didn't know.
She was beside herself. She was very happy. So, look, it was very fun. My voice is shot. So
I don't think that needed to be said.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know that I've ever heard it this bad. I'm gonna be honest with you.
But this is what I don't get. I was literally sitting there in my room doing vocal exercises, trying to wake the old girl up, and I don't know what's wrong with it. I was doing the Ron
I don't
Burgundy.
know what's wrong with it.
I was doing the Ron Burgundy. How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? But how's it happen? No heaters. I really don't know this guy.
You weren't. Yeah. I mean, as far as I don't know how late you stayed out, but
I had a few. Yes. I had a few. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I had quite a few last night.
Yeah, I mean, I was in my room service watching Fast and the Furious 37.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. How was it, the latest one?
Yeah. I mean, you know what you're getting into, but even that was a step too far.
What you gonna do, Bo?
Yeah.
I'm not wholly upset because I woke up today and I looked at my phone and I was like, oh my God, I've been drunk texting. But I just drunk texted my wife like 37 happy birthday messages.
Aww.
So we're good to go. Today's her birthday. Happy 34th, baby. Hope you have a great birthday. On today's show, we got a little Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Kentucky coming up today. Jake, out of yesterday, obviously Georgia's a headliner. What stood out to you most from SEC Media Day, Day 2?
Cole and I actually had a chance to catch up with Hugh Freeze yesterday. It was our last interview.
Hell yeah,
and there was some good stuff in there about play calling. And, he's giving up play calling too. So he's another guy that is giving up play calling.
No, I did not realize that.
Yeah, he's bringing in Tulsa's former head coach. And so he's bringing him in, and he had a great kind of line when he was talking about it. He goes, I wanted somebody that's going to run my offense but use different terminology. And he paused for a little bit.
Weird.
So his
Makes
offense,
sense,
but
though.
different terminology. And he paused for a little bit. He said, because Nick takes really good notes.
Well,
How about that?
So what's crazy about that is, like, that's how Hugh Freeze made his name. Was beating Alabama.
Yes.
And so already he knows. I mean, he knows the score. Like, he knows, oh, wow, that is badass, dude.
Yeah, so it was a good insight. I mean, he talked about, look, he's like, I got humbled. I mean, I got humbled as humble can be, and I'm just grateful to be here and all of that stuff. And, it was good. But some of the play calling stuff was probably the biggest takeaway for me, and it's been the biggest takeaway for the last 2 days. Jimbo in day one, when he was just kind of just going back and forth. It's like, are you going to say it? And I know he said it on Paul Feinbaum's show apparently, but he was with us after that, and he wouldn't.
Yeah,
say
no. He was.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it was a weird dynamic.
It's like his pride wouldn't let him just say it.
Right.
Even though it's
even if
case,
you got it out of him, you had to really just find avenues to get it out of him. And so, I don't know if it's going to be as big of a deal there. The Hugh Freeze, to me, that's very intriguing because Jimbo's a play caller. Yes, he's had a lot of success. But with Hugh, he was somebody that figured out Nick Saban in Alabama kind of before anybody else did.
2012,
with lesser talent. You know what I'm saying?
It beat Alabama back-to-back years. I didn't realize this. I was reading yesterday. I forgot this. Ole Miss hadn't won an SEC game in 2 years. Or when Hugh Freeze took over. It's weird to think about how bad Ole Miss was when Hugh Freeze took over.
Yeah.
And he kind of resurrected him. So, yeah, I feel you for sure.
But he also gave great insight as to, he's like, look, I've had guys in my career. It's like, when I'm at different places. He goes, I had a guy at Liberty that if it was 3rd and 5 or less, he had it. It was his play call because I wanted him to study it.
Oh, that makes
sense.
sense.
And I wanted him to know that if it was that situation, he had literally his best things ready to go. He said even sometimes, if I knew I was going for it on 4th down, then that would be a 2nd down play call. I'd have it. He'd get the 4th down play call. So it is interesting to hear these guys break it down in different ways. And, he's like, am I going to be in his ear? He's like, yeah. He's like, that's why I'm here. He said, but I'm not going to do it so much where it's over the top or I'm taking over. He said, when I interviewed him, Coach Montgomery, I'm like, hey, here's what I'm going to do. If I give you suggestions, he goes, well, no, you're the head coach, right? Offense or defensive head coach, that person's going to, hey, what do you think about this here? So, that one to me was really interesting because I also, I did not know that was going to be the case coming in.
No, I mean, you just assume, you hire Hugh Freeze, offense, you just assume he's going to. He also, he struck an interesting chord where I think he's being honest, but I also think he really likes where he's at, and he's trying to downplay it a bit where he was like, he kind of hit like an all shucks. He was like, when I joined in 2012, I thought it was kind of down, like all these other teams. Like he's like, now everybody's so good. You got Alabama, Georgia, LSU. It's kind of scary a little bit. I don't think Hugh Freeze is scared.
Well, he's in a place now, and this is not trying to be disrespectful to Ole Miss. He's in a place now that truly can win championships.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. And CC and Chris Childers, like, I was listening to him, and he was talking about Hugh Freeze. Like, he was at Ole Miss. It's kind of the same place at Auburn. And me and Aaron both at the same time said, absolutely not.
Hell no.
It is not the same place. Auburn is different than Ole Miss. Now, it comes with some crazy.
Yeah.
Right? It's the really good-looking date, but it's got a little crazy.
But he's like that super hot blonde I saw on a recruiting visit to Auburn in high school where –
had a dip in?
Yeah, where she put that fat dip in. Like that is Auburn.
But it can be a place where if you do it right, you're going to get resources. You get everything you need, right? You're going to have players.
And he seems to have the people behind him.
Yeah.
Like he is the perfect fit for Auburn. This is not disparaging, and I hope it doesn't sound that way. But Auburn has that. Auburn has a very Christian element, a very religious element.
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze has always been a very whatever. You're gonna make jokes, but whatever. Like he has always publicly expressed his faith. Right? They seem to fit one another just perfectly. Like they missed so hard with Harsin.
Yeah.
With the fit, they could not have a better fit than Hugh Freeze.
I would agree with you. I think he does fit, and I do think that it was of what you could get after what you did to Brian Harsin.
Yes,
it's literally the best you could get, and I
Yeah.
don't mean that disparaging. Like
No, it's a good call.
Like when you go and hire a coach and you fire him a year and a half in, you've got to really go find the guy because it's going to be hard to get some people in there because of what you just did. So to go get a Hugh Freeze after what you did to Harsin, even more so. So it's going to be heightened for me even a little bit there. And he's figured out Alabama as well. Now, it was years ago, and it was at a different place, but I have to imagine that was intriguing to them as well.
Yeah, I would say so. The thing about Auburn is they're kind of like the Viet Cong from Vietnam, or like cockroaches, like the Taliban. It's like you just can't kill them. They have why do they believe so much?
Yeah.
They have no right. They have no right. Like they should be discouraged, but they have faith, and it's crazy. You cannot get them down. You can beat them in the short term, right? And you could beat them in ways where it's like other lesser schools would just kind of throw their hands up and say, okay, it kind of is what it is. But like eventually they emerge out of the plains. They just maintain that belief, and they just maintain why? How? I mean, Alabama's right there.
Yeah.
And yet they just keep coming. And now I'm telling you, bro, but this is the problem. There's only so much oxygen in the room. It's like Hugh Freeze, I think he's going to be really good. But you have LSU, Georgia, Alabama. You have Texas, Oklahoma coming next year.
There's only so many wins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I picked Mississippi State to finish last. They were third last year in the West. 4-4, beat Ole Miss. So it's like I don't know how this all shakes out. Like somebody has to lose.
And in the West, it's going to be highly competitive. You might have the West with every team having at least 6 wins.
Gotta be.
Like you truly
I would be
could
shocked
have that situation.
I would be shocked if any team did it. I mean, I know that might be a function of the schedule, but every team is definitely bowl talented.
And it's going to be hard. Like when I fill out my all the polls and everything at the end of the week, I don't know who in the world I'm going to put there at the bottom in the West. Like you can talk me into 3 to 7, like every team being slotted anywhere like in that range. Like I know it's going to be LSU, Alabama for me, but after that, I have no idea.
All right, look, coming up next and off the bench, we're going to continue to recap day 2, and then we'll preview day 3. It's Alabama Day, guys. You can feel it in the air.
See a fan down there. He had like a Rey Mysterio mask with a Thor hammer. It was quite
I know what boy you're talking about.
Yeah. He's got like a catchy. He's got a nickname. I forget what it was.
Yeah, he's like a super fan. He's like Cyborg Saint or any of these New Orleans. He's one of the fans.
He is right here.
Yeah, he's a super fan where he has an
Nacho
entire
Alabama.
God, Nacho Alabama is actually pretty good.
Yeah, but it's a blend of, what's the theme?
Well,
Thor's hammer to go with,
So the hammer is because the yellow hammer thing that they do, right?
Yeah,
Obviously.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the chant that they do, right?
Yellow
Ribs?
hammer, Alabama.
Yeah, it's rammer, jammer.
Rammer, jammer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we should ask.
That's one of the
Roy.
things.
Ooh, I gotta not curse. It's pretty lame.
It is.
Moscona sat here and heard like every fight song. He's like, "That's that fight song. That fight song. You want to know the UCLA fight song?"
I don't think I could do that, dude. I don't think I could do that.
I could do most of the SEC ones. probably.
But T-Bob and I, we were on the field when
Yeah.
those were playing. I don't know anybody.
No. Well, what I was saying when we heard him first, I knew the fight songs when I used to play NCAA. Like in high school, I could have told you the fight song.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know the fight songs now. They all except for Rocky Top.
I do know
Rocky Top came on last night.
They play that where they make sure you know that the most.
Yeah, I'll never forget playing Tennessee and I'm on the sideline. I'm like, he's like, damn it, no. Quiet. Yeah,
I can see you on the sideline.
It's such a little jig.
I think that actually happened as we were leaving the bar last night. We walked into the last room and it started playing and everyone in the group kind of was like, ugh, But by the time we made it to the door, everyone was kind of like,
yeah, it's impossible.
Dancing.
It's an earworm. It's impossible not to. All right, look, more OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. Our coverage this week is also brought to you by Rev Business and Relief Windows. More from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days is coming up next on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com.
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We're talking Arkansas, Florida, Kentucky, and Alabama. See if the doofus with the ring hat showed up in Nashville. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I'm no stranger to the rain. I'm a friend of thunder. Friend, is it any wonder lightning strikes me? I fought with the devil, got down on his level, but I never gave in, so he gave up on me.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing, All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I've been sacrificed by mother.
Gulf Sal says, this voice also explains T-Bob's middle of the night IG post declared his love for his wife. Oh, what happened there? Did I, what?
What?
I don't really know.
Later, nerd. She's mine. You don't know what you posted?
It was,
oh, no.
I had a little bit of a drunk texting thing. Like I said, I sent her about 34 messages last night.
It started out so sweet. Then you get in there a little aggressive, and then it ends pretty funny.
Yeah.
You hit all the high notes.
Wow. Well,
you played the hits.
Dude, look. The bottom line is, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good today. Oh, boys, y'all hear the voice? I mean, the voice is
coming back
over here, dude. How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? Day 3 of SEC Media Days. We've been honky-tonking, having fun. We're kind of recapping yesterday, then we'll get into previewing today. So Hugh Freeze Auburn yesterday. I thought, look, I think Auburn's going to be good eventually. 2-quarterback system, which is a bit interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Peyton Thorne, if he had a full off season, I would say he's going to be the starter. But without practicing, like Robbie Ashford, whatever. I mean, Hugh Freeze said it. Robbie Ashford has a role to play. Certainly, maybe it's not. And Freeze very honest. He's like, is he going to be like starting quarterback? I don't know. But like, that's a cat that can help you win football games. Like, he has a skill set you can use. Also yesterday, though, Jake, we kind of buried the lead. It was Georgia Day. Old Kirby and company in town. Brock Bowers. Like, granted, he's a big guy, right? Like 6'4", 230. If you take the size out of it, Brock Bowers looks like a mid-20s insurance salesman. It is insane that man is as athletic as he is. I was blown away.
That's the first time you saw him?
Yes. Yeah. Because, okay.
Same thing.
Full disclosure, I had a mental lapse on snaps, and I was clowning Carson Beck thinking he was Brock Bowers. Forgetting that they didn't take quarterback. But
right.
But the point is, and you listen, you can make fun of me, but you know this is true. Nobody actually knows what the players look like. You do what you would know better than most. But I would love to put.
You're right.
I would love to put the names of all the players here and the headshots and have the media try to match them up. Nobody, and you as well. You listening right now, you don't actually know what your favorite football players look like in college. It's just a thing. They're constantly rotating. They have helmets on. You don't see them ribs. You don't actually know what your players look like.
I was having that conversation with someone about baseball players too. I don't remember. There was maybe a Mississippi State player. I can't remember who it was now, but I saw a picture of him and I was like, like it popped up on the the screen or whatever at the game, and I was like, huh.
Yeah.
That's what that guy looks like. You hear their names and you know what they're doing, but you're like, what do they look like?
Well, I always think about the U documentary where old boy got the he got a celebration flag for taking his helmet off, but he was like, look, man, the basketball players, everybody knows them, everybody knows the baseball players. Like, I wanted people to see my face. Yeah. I got a little shine. So whatever though. Georgia yesterday, Kirby, I don't think Georgia's going to win a third national championship. I fully believe that. But I love listening to Kirby Smart. I have every year at SEC Media Days. He's always got interesting things to say. Yesterday, he's talking about fighting complacency, talking about how he's been studying the New Zealand All Blacks.
Okay.
And they have a saying, better never rests. And think about that. Better never rests. That is actually 3 words that are genius, because it doesn't matter how good you are. Right? It doesn't matter what you like. It does not matter. Everybody can get better, and you cannot get better if you're complacent. You cannot get better if you rest. So, I don't think Georgia's going to win the third natty. Obviously, I've been very upfront about that. But I thought Kirby handled himself like he always does very well yesterday.
It's just when you look at who they have and what they've done and their schedule, it's just like, how do you keep that team motivated? How do you? But he keeps and he continues to find a way to do so. Like, I was looking yesterday at the field steal, because he has like the unit rankings as far as like the quarterbacks, running backs in the league, 1 through 14. Georgia has his top ranking at running back, receiver, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, and DB.
What?
In the SEC.
What?
Yes. The only one that they're not number 1 is quarterback. And there's 7 there.
And according to, look, Aaron Murray is not a trusted source.
Nah, he's too close to the sun.
He is. But we are a bit as well, right?
Not as bad as Aaron.
I agree.
And I told him as much in person,
agree.
so I don't feel bad.
I agree. He does a lot of, like, Georgia content as well, so he's got to pump it. But he seems to be in love with Carson Beck. Like, I guess all I'm saying is I would be surprised if we think of Carson Beck as being the 7th best quarterback in the SEC by season's end. I don't know what he's going to do in the big games. I know he's going to put up great stats. But
what big games? You seen their schedule?
Well, playoffs. That's what I'm talking. SEC championship on is what I'm talking about.
Right.
When it comes to Georgia.
Look, it's hard. It's hard to find a weakness. Now, I don't believe in the receivers near as much as Phil Steele does. I mean, yeah, you're getting a player from Missouri and Lovett who's a really, really good player, but he's in a new spot. And Georgia's receivers, there's been some hits and misses and some inconsistency with those guys. I think you could certainly say that over the last couple of years. And so I'm not sure about that position, but
yeah, they lose A.D. Mitchell. I mean,
they do.
Nobody really talks about that as much as the guy who dominated in the big games.
You have Brock Bowers, who can also move around. Now, he doesn't have Darnell Washington anymore, because when you have a Darnell Washington, then Brock Bowers can become an X factor. Then he can line up in other spots, because you have a top 3-round draft choice at tight end in Darnell Washington that can line up in line or do whatever you need him to do at that position. So, not to say Brock Bowers isn't a stud, he is, but he'll see some different matchups this year. Or what's the guy that replaces Washington? Can he hold up to give Brock Bowers the ability to do what he's been doing?
So we'll see. It's kind of weird. Like, there's just kind of not much to say on Georgia. Like Auburn, like in sports media, in terms of like interesting talking points, like Georgia's really good. They're solid everywhere. They've obviously recruited well. They don't have an exciting first game. They don't really have any exciting games like Jake was talking about until you get to maybe like SEC championship and playoffs. So, like, the most interesting conversation to have about Georgia is whether or not they'll three-peat, and we've already had that conversation so much that I don't know that I want to dive into it again today.
One of the Georgia takeaways, and every time that I talk with him or see him, it reminds me that Cedric Van Pran is from Louisiana. He's from New Orleans. Van Pran is one of the most impressive young men you'll ever come across, and he is a stud at the center position. And I don't even think his recruitment, I'm pretty sure it was like LSU wasn't even in the top 3 kind of deal, so he knew immediately.
So I don't, I get that. That's
no, I'm just saying, like,
but I'm
he's
saying,
a
but that's
really good player.
It sucks that he got out of there, right? But like every now and then, and this is how I was. I grew up going to school in Georgia. Yeah. I didn't want to go to college in Georgia. I don't know why. Like my family or something had instilled in me.
Spread your wings, T-Bob.
Yeah, I wanted to get out of it. I wanted to get no, I didn't spread too far, obviously, because I had family in Louisiana and everything. So it was kind of a kind of a soft spreading for me, but I mean it's just I 8 times out of 10. Being from a place is probably an advantage.
All right.
But there's a couple times where that kid has in his head, no, I want to go. I want to experience other things.
I tell you all the time, it's one of my biggest fears. My kids going to the lab school on campus.
Yeah, I know.
They're going to go as far away as they possibly can.
They're not going to want to go to LSU. That's how I feel too. They're not going to want to go there because they've been on there.
Yeah,
they've been on there since day one. But we'll see. I don't know. But I don't know. Look, Ribs. Hey, Starkville, went to Mississippi State. So
I know.
Well, how'd you feel about it?
I mean, at the time, it was fine. I looked at Ole Miss. Weirdly,
wow,
I know.
Scandalous.
Jay Rester was not happy about that.
Dude. You were just trying to needle your parents.
I know, that was probably what that was. But I did look at Tulane because I love Louisiana. But that was the year after Katrina. And so it was tough seeing in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But no, now in retrospect, I look back, I'm like, oh, I wish I had gone somewhere. But I mean, there's hope, Jake. I grew up in Starkville. I stayed there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that grew up in Baton Rouge and stay and go to LSU. So look, if they get their college paid for somewhere else, I am not going to be upset by that.
Whatever. The point is, shout out Van Pran, dude. NOLA native. Always love to see the native shine, even if it is with the red and black on. All right, when we get back, continue to recap day 2, get into day 3 of OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Join the G team. Gordon McKernan, 225-888-8888. You can put any area code in first and type 888-88, and you're going to get in touch with Gordon. And Gordon's going to fight for you, okay? You get in a tough spot, accident, you need somebody that's going to get it done. You want to get Gordon. Actually, check out Gordon on social media as well, @GetGordon. And look what they got going on, man. Everybody knows about his work in the NIL space. They got great sit-downs with your favorite athletes, man. Go watch him talk to Mason Smith and get an idea of how much this man is on the revenge path, the war path this year. Get Gordon, get it done.
GetGordon.com is the website. You can go there. You can have a live chat right now on the website. Find a list of cases they can handle for you, past client results, all at your fingertips there @GetGordon on all social media. Area code Louisiana, followed by the 8s.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,500 off MSRP on all new 23 Ram 1500 Laramie trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly.
It's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, and Kentucky all take their turn for Media Days. We're live from Radio Row. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Like Grandma and Grandpa used to play. Then I'll float on down the river to Cajun Hideaway.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Remember, Hudco Roofing brings you live coverage of 22 the SEC Media Days through Thursday of this week. Find highlights on 104.5's ESPN YouTube channel. Coverage also brought to you locally by Rev Business and Relief Windows. All right, so yesterday, okay, look, we talked Auburn. We talked Georgia. Also yesterday, you had Vanderbilt up here. Look, I think Clark Lee is the right man for the job. Vanderbilt heavily investing right now. They got about $700 million. I feel like that was the conference kind of telling them they had to a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Well, actually, also I think it's either their new AD or president seems to want to try to be good at athletics.
Well, Candace Story-Lee, who's their AD, is also a Vandy alum and also a former athlete at Vandy, right? And so she understands. And
that's who it was then.
Yeah, so we kind of joke and talk about it like alignment because when BK had his first press conference, he said alignment. But now it's like the buzzword in college athletics. But there really, truly is something to that, like being on the same page, understanding the same, not only successes, but the same problems that you're going to have as well. Even look at Georgia. They have a president, an AD, and a head coach that all have Georgia degrees. You know, and I do think that matters. Now, can you win not having that? Yes, you can, but being on the same page, even if you don't have a degree from that school, like BK and Scott and President Tate, they're all aligned. They all have the same vision. They know what it takes to win in the SEC, so they're going to do what it takes to win. They're going to have whatever they have to have success in the SEC, and that's just not the case. There's some ADs or certainly some presidents that don't have that same belief. Vanderbilt is never, and I do mean never, I'm speaking in absolutes here, they have never had any kind of alignment with their head coach, AD, president.
Not even, I guess not even James Franklin.
No.
That's one of the reasons
I mean,
why
he was
left.
out there passing out free ice cream to get people to come to games.
True.
The head coach of an SEC school. Like we always talk about Dede Bro passing out tickets at Winn-Dixie. This is James Franklin passing out ice cream to get people to come to Vanderbilt football games.
Yeah. So Clark Lee goes from 2-10 to 5-7. I like so they're building $700 million worth of facilities, $300 million for football alone. So they're finally going to at least have that.
Give him bump. Nice little contract.
Yeah, he got the extension through 2029, which makes sense. He's a very cerebral head coach.
Impressive.
Which counts, which obviously feels like it's fitting for Vanderbilt, but he does. You can see that he kind of comes from the Brian Kelly school, and like we talked about yesterday, he's always very effusive in his praise.
I told him yesterday
about Brian Kelly.
I said, Clark, you're the smartest fullback I've ever met. He said,
That's
thanks,
true.
but that's not a high bar.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But he is. But it's not. Look, the bottom line for Vandy, I think, is get bowl eligible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you can get bowl eligible, that's a huge win. And I like how he handled it, where he's like, look, I recognize the improvement, but I also kind of dislike how celebrated we're being for being 5-7.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of head patting going on. That's basically what he was saying.
Yeah, he didn't tell me yesterday, but I do remember in Destin when we were having a conversation with him, he kind of had the same thing. Like, okay, but like, should we really celebrate beating? Basically, he didn't call schools out, but a bad Florida team and an okay Kentucky team. That was kind of his message. I'm like, you kind of should. But he said, what we have to get rid of is the 55-0 against Georgia. We've got to get rid of the 56-0 against Tennessee. Like, we have to get rid of that. We have to be competitive in these games because, when you take a look at it, and Bama 55-3, but Missouri, they lost 17-14, had a chance to win that game at the end. 38-27 to South Carolina. So those are very close losses that they also can find ways to get more wins. They were up on Ole Miss at halftime and ended up losing that game 52-28. So
wow.
Clark's like, look, yeah, the wins are great. The close losses, don't love those, but we got to get rid of not having a chance in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And he's right. Like, they have to be competitive in those games for them really to make a change and to be a team that can go win 6-7 games every year and not be celebrated for winning 5.
So I think that Clark Lee is the right man for the job. I think that they do have a ceiling on them, but I feel like he can kind of maximize what you're getting there. Also, they got a good they have a. So this is what's interesting. The academics don't become a negative until you're talking about maybe trying to get to the very top, right?
Yes.
Like everybody always talks about, academics hold back. Well, no, I think it's actually a selling point. I think it's actually a benefit until you're maybe trying to compete for championships. You need the top of the top, and you need to be able to take whoever you can. Like Vanderbilt, and they are, but they should lean into it, right? They are unique, and you go there. You get the elite degree that's going to help set you up for life. You can play sports at a high level, and you get to be in Nashville, which is going through its own explosion.
It is. The money you get from a Vanderbilt degree compared to other schools in the SEC out of the gates, it's not even really close.
Oh, is that true?
It's Vanderbilt, like space, someone else. Yeah, I mean.
Even in general studies?
Even in general studies from LSU, which, look, I don't know why that would be the case, but it is. And so, you can sell that. Now, that's not going to play to everyone because – all of us think we're going to play 10 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
But there's some players that are realistic with it and like, oh, yeah, I can go be a real human being with a real job and make real money. So, yes, you can sell that. But also the Nashville portion of it. They have to buy in and like sell Nashville, and Nashville has to accept that and then help spread. Because no other, like, look, Starkville and Oxford and Gainesville, like the College Station, these are college towns where those teams are the biggest deal in town.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. The quarterback at Mississippi State can't go to the grocery store in Starkville, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Right? The quarterback in Texas A&M, same situation. Like, nobody knows who any of these players are in Nashville. You have a pro hockey team. You have a pro football team, NFL, NHL. You're not the biggest ticket in town. How do we come up with ways to make Vanderbilt play? You have an MLS team as well. How do we come up with ways to make our players visible for the NIL space? How do we make them cool around town? That's a big challenge. Even in bigger SEC cities like Lexington and Baton Rouge and other ones, Fayetteville. Well, Fayetteville's maybe not as big, but still like bigger than some of the other schools I mentioned. How, like, you can get that done. Like, Joe Burrow couldn't walk around Baton Rouge. And Baton Rouge is a city that is the capital and a much bigger city, right? Paul Skeens couldn't do that.
No.
The best Vanderbilt player, David Price and Dansby Swanson, could walk around any part of Nashville in the height of their baseball careers, and not one person would stop them. Even as good looking as my man Jordan Rogers is, he could walk all the way around town, and nobody would say a word to Jordan.
Reeves is nodding over there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Bad body language. Jay Cutler could walk. So they've got to figure out a way to make it cool to play for Vanderbilt, where you get enough exposure, where some of these businesses, and look, we're making jokes. There's cranes every single place that you look in this town. It is a massive town. It's a thriving town. There's electricity in this town. They have to find a way, though, T. I don't know how you do that. That's not me giving you an example of how to do it. I don't know how you do it, but they have to do that, because then the businesses get behind it. Then you have NIL deals. Then you can sell, oh, you want to be like a true star? Yeah. Then you come play here in Nashville, a city where stars already live.
And I like what they're doing with the stadium, man. They're going to rework it this year. It's going to be down to 30,000 for this year. But when the construction is done, they're going to have a 34,000 seat stadium that is going to focus on premium experience, right? Have nice seats, have bars, have music. Like that's what they need to do. It's kind of like an MLS style, and I think that is I think that's key, because then hopefully you get enough juice in the football team. Like Aaron was talking about this yesterday. Like, it's hard for Vanderbilt when they have recruits and 80% of the stadium is filled with whatever the other team is.
Because everybody wants to come
to Nashville. Exactly. So maybe a bit of that premium seat ends up helping out, but like that should be where they're aiming.
Yeah, but also you have a town that everybody wants to come to. Like, hey, play into that. And again, I don't know how you get that done, but you have to find a way. I don't know if it's
Clark Lee's pretty smart.
He is, and I don't know if it's make downtown the cool spot where Vanderbilt players are. I don't know, like, pick a section of town. I don't know how you get it done, but if you want to truly be a program that's on the rise, because you have this advantage of this cool I mean, we'd have to look at the population. Nobody's close to Nashville, right? I mean, I know Lexington, I think, second, if I'm not mistaken.
Can't be.
Knoxville might be up.
Can't be
nobody's close to Nashville, right? So you got to find a way to take advantage of that, because even if you get 25%, hell, 15% of Nashville, that's a big win for you.
All right, when we get back, we'll finish closing up BSA, and then we'll start the preview tomorrow in hour number 2. Keep it locked right here, no OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com for your next vehicle. You want to go see our friends over there, all the Airline Highway. Look, if you love Off the Bench, you love All-Star Toyota, because All-Star Toyota supports Off the Bench. And look, that's how I ended up with the Murdoch Minute, the Toyota Sienna. That's exactly what my family needed, and I love it. Even though them 2023s are pretty nice, bro. But look, the bottom line is maybe it's a minivan for you. Maybe it's a Tundra, Tacoma, RAV4, like whatever, a hybrid. They got it all right there for Airline High with the best prices, the best people. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Go to that website today, and remember, you can customize your brand new vehicle however you want that vehicle to look. You can certainly get it done there on the website. You can also go into the dealership and have the same conversation with them. Check out those per-day rental prices as well. Everything is available, full fleet, ready to go in that rental process. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our coverage this week is also brought to you by Rev Business and Relief Windows. More from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days is coming up next on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
Handyman, it's the Hump Day edition of Live at Lunch, live from Roca Pizzeria on Government Street in Mid-City. Live at Lunch, live from Roca, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Well, I remember it all very well. Looking back, it was the summer I turned 18. We lived in a one-room run-down shack on the outskirts of New Orleans. We didn't have money.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome back, OTB. All right, we've been doing kind of one college per segment. Let's talk about Mississippi State, Jake. We're here real quick at the end of the hour. The problem with Mississippi State right now is I don't know how to predict them. Like, okay. So, in my video tonight, I picked them to finish last. But it's not coming from an educated standpoint. It's coming from a point of ignorance, right? Like, when you don't know about something, you start to doubt it. Like, I feel like I have pretty good grasps on every other team. I just don't know what Mississippi State's going to be. And so because of that, I'm kind of knocking them. I'm doubting them and picking them to finish lower. But it's not to say that they can't be good. I mean, they were third in the West last year at 4-4. Like, they were sneaky good last year, and they don't get probably enough credit for that. But here I am picking them 7th.
Don't get enough.
But it's just because I don't know. Like, I don't know about Arnett. What's the offense going to look like? What will Rod's going to look like? How do you handle that philosophical change? So I guess what I'm getting at is, all I'm saying is, when it comes to the Bulldogs, it's like, if their fans heard me pick them last and they get mad and yell at me, I would accept it because I'm like, I mean, I get that because I just don't know.
All right, so here's the deal, Mississippi State. You have only 4 returning starters on defense from a good defense, but the 4 returning starters that you have been players since you were in the league, T-Bob. When you look at Nathan Pickering, he's been there forever. When you look at Jet Johnson, he's been there forever. Nathaniel Watson, been there forever. I mean, they've got a lot of veteran players Crumdy, who was here yesterday, been there forever. They've been 4-year starters. So at least the guys you do have coming back are as veteran can be. And Zach Arnett, that is his calling card, so you feel okay about that. Now, on offense, they have 8 returning starters, but completely different system.
That's what I'm saying, but like
Kevin Barbay's coming over from App State, and they had –
I do like Barbay, though.
Yeah,
that was a really good hire.
Really good offenses there last year. We saw them beat Texas A&M. We saw what they did against North Carolina. But here's the deal. I asked Will Rogers yesterday, Cole and I did, when's the last time you took a snap under center? He said one time. And I said, like, in singular, like one time?
No.
He said in high school they backed up. They were on the goal line.
Wait. Will Rogers' entire football career, he's taking one under center snaps?
One time it was backed up, coming out of their own end zone, and he had to run like a quarterback sneak. So it was one time. Yes, one time. And we also asked him, when's the last time you turned your back to a defense? Because Barbay's offense, you're going to hard play action on a zone, have your back to the defense, and then you're going to have to go find what the coverage is.
30.
He said, I've never done that. Not one time.
Bruh.
Okay, so I wish we had more time.
Good for okay. Here's the deal. Let's I know I can tell. We'll revisit Mississippi State at the beginning of next hour. I know, I feel you. We'll revisit Mississippi State at the beginning of next hour, and then we'll start to preview today because there is more to be said there for sure. And then eventually I want to pick. Well, I'm thinking like I'm thinking about do I want to redo my rankings? Like we should probably redo them and kind of see how we feel at the end of this. All right, more OTB live
Off
from Nashville.
the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yeah, like I said, live here from Nashville, brought to you by Hudco Roofing, Rev Business, Relief Windows, and remember here that you want to go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge for all of your AC, heat, and electrical needs. Accutemp is the absolute best, man. Go look at the online reviews. Service to the highest degree. Yes, that's a great pun, but it's also, it's kind of their core ethos. It's their mission statement. It's what they built their business on. And so if you need somebody that's going to work for you, I'll take care of your AC. Maybe ask about the Star Club membership where it's like a flat fee and they stay on top of the situation. They make sure to come out, check your system. You avoid any catastrophic issues down the road. Go to Accutemp Baton Rouge today. That's AccutempBR.com. You're going to thank me, guys. Trust me, Accutemp of Baton Rouge.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong. Gulf
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Wednesday, July 19th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the SEC Media Days in Nashville, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo. Y'all, number 2 of OTB live here from Nashville. Look at my guy, Damien. There, look at my boy. What's up, dude? Mackie Cube.
Coolest cat. I mean, just the coolest cat over there.
Dude.
I mean,
Damien's shirt last night, you should have seen, bro. That's my kind of shirt.
You were like,
that's top.
You were like, are you going out? He's like, I'm 27. Of course I'm going out.
He did hit me with that. Which,
I'm 27.
Which I was like, all right, yeah, yes, sir. And then, of course,
we are not 27.
So what's interesting, we were talking about breaking off the group. The time when I broke off the group, we went to Lower Bar. You know, I'm listening to music because, it's everything you do here. And a very attractive female walked in. And I remember kind of being like, damn, like, that's a very attractive female. And sure enough, as I go to make my way back upstairs, who do I see? Damien. And who's right there? Who's right there? The very attractive female, dude. Damien, did she have a rose? Yeah. She had a rose in hand. Now, unfortunately, he ran into great offensive line play. He got blocked a little bit. Yeah, friend group. Yep, you got to watch out. Mother hen always takes care of the brood. And so, but look, whatever. You miss all the shots you don't take. You got to rush the passer no matter what. Mm-hmm. And Damien understood that, and he was doing great. Like, a lot of pressures. Didn't get the sack, but a high pressure rate out of Damien last night. Good work. Proud of you.
Hey, did y'all ever see Roman?
No.
Sorry, I should have asked you
I'm still waiting for Roman.
I saw him. He said he was about to text you.
Give me a drink.
we ran into him. T-Bob owed everybody a drink. We ran into him on the way to dinner, and T-Bob was like, "What do you want to drink? I'll have it ready for you whenever." He's like, "Depends on what time it is."
Yeah.
All right, I respect that answer.
I don't know who's cooler, Roman Harper or Takeo Spikes. I saw both of them last night.
Roman is just so cool.
Like, I don't know
everything
like
about
that,
him. Just
Roman is so
that's right.
Cool,
you know
dude.
Roman because of New Orleans.
Yes,
okay,
Roman is so
he's
cool.
Just cool. Like the definition
like
of cool.
Yes, he's literally like one of the coolest human beings on the planet.
I saw Takeo last night. He's coming out of the elevator, and of course, he's still got the neck that's the biggest neck of all time, Guinness Book, and he's still jacked, and he had this Hawaiian shirt on. I was like, T-Bob doesn't look like that in a Hawaiian shirt. Like, wait a minute, how's that look so cool? Like, it looks cool, like a Hawaiian shirt.
First off, unnecessary shot. But I love hearing that Takeo's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Like, let's go.
It's good news for you.
Ro had I don't even, he's so stylish.
What was he wearing last night when we saw him?
He had like a do-rag on with like a fully button-up. It doesn't matter. It's a fun story. Nobody's going to care.
He looked incredible.
But he's just whatever. He's so jacked and good looking.
But I saw him. And he had he was holding court. Like, you know, I saw him and I was walking back to the hotel, just people just around him. He's holding court. I'm like, hey, he's like, I'm going to text T-Bob for my drink. I guess he did not, but it didn't matter. Everyone was just.
I got very upset he got upset with me yesterday when I asked him if he was, you know, these alpha males, dude, they can get very defensive very fast. I'm doing Ryan Fowler's show for Alabama, and at 5 p.m. every day, it's the most masturbatory segment in sports talk radio. Ryan Fowler rails off Alabama's like natties, SECs, All-Americans, blah, 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 whatever. But they got like
actual ones that they actually won, or just like
no, he counts them all. He's at 18 national championships, 75 SECs, 1,000 All-American, and whatever. And so I asked Roe, he walked up, I asked him if he was one of the All-Americans, and he was like, no. And then, but I had a badass NFL career. I had a better, just like started. I'm like, whoa, Roe, guy, I don't know.
Okay,
you were a second-round pick. I just figured you were an All-American. Relax.
Listen, I was about to say that about that group of Alabama players. I can speak on that group because I played against that group. In 2005, when Roman was there, D'Amico Ryans was there. They were a damn good football team. Both of those players were really, really good, and nobody ever gives that team credit.
Yeah.
That team in 2005 was undefeated when we went to Tuscaloosa in November. Now, we were really good, too. We beat them in, we beat them in overtime. Went to overtime. I think Dwayne Bowe caught a touchdown pass in the end zone, but they were undefeated. The only games they lost that year were us and the Iron Bowl.
Damn.
And that was with Shula. And they were really, really good that year. And Roman and D'Amico Ryans and other players on offense, but those two players specifically, they stand out to me. They don't get talked about because of what Alabama's done after that. And there has to be
the later light shines.
There has to be a piece of them that, that's a little bitterness because they were part of really good teams at a really good program. They were all SEC type players. Both of those players played a long time in the NFL. Now D'Amico Ryans is the head coach for the Houston Texans. And so, I always, if I hear people say stuff like, I want to give those two cats their love because I had to block both of those cats.
You know what's crazy is we were talking about Roman was a part of the legendary Saints draft class, the 06 draft class.
That was incredible when he was listing off all those people.
Oh, bro. It was.
When he said Mike Hass, I'm like, I forgot that Oregon State Biletnikoff Award.
So
Mike
ironically, that's crazy. Yes, the Saints drafted a Biletnikoff winner, but Marcus Colston beat him out. But it's wild. The Saints had maybe 7 picks, and 5 of them played 10 years in the league at least. So I hit that 10-year mark. Do you know how hard it is to play 10 years in the NFL? I mean, obviously you do, Jacob. So,
I played 6.
Yeah, no, but you know that. But you got 6. Yeah. That's some Warrior stuff. It should be impossible to have a draft where you have 5 guys that make 10 years. And that is just you got really lucky.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's how you enter a golden era.
Yeah.
You're right. If you're talking about the Saints, and then you know the 2017 draft class, what that led to, that's how you get lucky and you just end up entering one of your best times. All right, let's revisit Mississippi State, Jake, because you had a lot more to say. Like I was saying, I don't know about them, and it's not fair to them because I knocked them out of ignorance. Ignorance breeds fear. It breeds distrust, and that's where I'm at with Mississippi State right now.
All right, so we're talking about the offense and the changes that they're going to make, and Will Rogers saying one time in his life he's taken a snap under center, and he said one, and I was like, singular? When he said one, I was almost like, for a season in high school?
That's
no,
crazy.
One time in my life.
He doesn't even know the warmth of a center's nutsack. It's sad. I feel bad for him.
He doesn't. And I mean, that's a relationship that I don't even know about, but you certainly do. But when you look at who Will Rogers is,
I love it.
Now I know Aaron Murray is so bitter about this, but single-season completions leader. He has 505 in 2021, career completions leader with 1,159. Aaron Murray, the only quarterback even close, and he blew past Aaron with 921. But also, he's coming up on
Aaron
touchdowns.
Still got tuds, but he
does not like
worried,
this
dude.
conversation.
He's a little worried, dude.
He's coming up on touchdowns. Speaking of that, he's coming up on Tua Tagovailoa, Tim Tebow, and Chris Leak for 5th all-time. So he's about to pass them with just 3.
Chris Leak is 5th all-time in passing touchdowns?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, bro.
So he would be 5th.
I feel but what I'm saying is I feel like I don't think about Chris Leak throwing a ton of touchdowns back in the day.
On pace to become just the 3rd SEC quarterback ever with 100 career touchdown passes, 4,739 yards in 2021, 3rd most ever in SEC history. So I'll lay all that out because you do at least have a guy that has been highly successful, but he's been highly successful in the air raid.
Yeah.
And yesterday we're like, have you ever turned your back to a defense? Like I was saying earlier, he's like, no, I've never. He's like, no, I've done some hard play action. And me and Cole look at each other. We're like, hey, riding the running back across the formation is not what we're talking about. He kind of laughed. Think about that. Like, you are going to have to turn your back to the defense. You're taking a snap under center, which you've only done one time, hard play action, and then you've got to look back up. And the coverage could have changed, I mean, obviously drastically from what you did. It's hard to simulate that in practice. It truly is. And those are things like you have the guy that you believe can go in there and do that because of all the success, because of the talent, because he's not a system quarterback. I think Will can make every throw in the route tree. I truly do. I've always said that about him. But it's going to be an adjustment. And I tried to explain it yesterday in terms of how our listeners would kind of understand, because if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, I want to hear this.
All right, so if I'm playing outfield.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm playing center field or wherever, and a ball is hit in front of me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I read the ball, I go up to it, I get underneath it, and I catch it.
Yeah.
Okay? That's easy. If I'm playing center field and they hit one over my head, and I'm having to go back, I'm having to find the wall, look up, find the ball, look back down, look for the wall, grab the wall, get in position, look back up, find the ball. That's what we're talking about. That's turning your back to the defense, having to look back up, find out what's going on. Which one's easier? The one right in front of you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he's always done. In an air raid offense, everything is right in front of you. When you catch the ball, you're in gun, obviously. You never turn your back. You don't even take a drop, really.
No, and I mean, you're not facing that much of a pass rush because generally they're rushing 3 and you're getting the ball out.
They're dropping
right
8.
away.
They're rushing 3, and the splits are going to be different. So for Will, like, that's going to be completely different. I'd much rather catch a fly ball in front of me than having to find the wall, turn around, find the ball, all of that. Well, that's going to happen with him. And also an adjustment, and you know this better than any of us, the offensive line in an air raid is protected.
Oh,
you're getting a ball out quick.
Even
your
last
splits
year,
are crazy.
they were getting beat. Like, they were rushing 3 against 5, and they would get beat, and it didn't matter because the ball was coming out. Like, yes, the offensive line. You're right. The offensive line has an easy job in the air raid.
Man, and we had Woody Marks, very talented running back, DeQuavius Marks, but he goes by Woody. Man, I was trying to, because you run zone, inside zone, outside zone in an air raid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, stretch zone, counter, power. Like you're running all of those, and you can tell it's still new to him. Because I was talking about reading it on a gap scheme run and power and counter, and trying to press him a little bit, but you could tell like those aren't things he's comfortable with yet. Right, because those things are completely different.
Oh, Fowler, get out of here. We were just talking about the most masturbatory segment in all of sports radio. The most masturbatory segment in all of sports radio.
You want me to run through it?
No.
18 national titles, 29 SEC championships, 145 first-team All-Americans, 76 postseason appearances, 45 postseason victories, 4 Heisman winners, and the greatest college football coach to ever walk the sideline.
And 0-4 against Jacob Hester. Keep walking.
0-4 against Hester. What you got? Oh man! All right, sorry, Jake.
That's fine.
No, okay. So go back to what you're saying. You were talking about you were pressing him on the knowledge, kind of the gap scheme, the powers, and everything.
And like, what are you reading on counters? You know, it's not something he's ever done before. So he's just like, I like to get the big guys getting down in front of me. I'm like, okay, well, where's your aiming point? Kind of different stuff. Talking through offense with him, because those are things you're going to have to know. You're going to have to know power. I'm hitting that A gap to expand. Counter. I'm hitting that B gap to expand, and just different things. And those are runs that he's going to have to get reps after reps after reps with to feel comfortable about that. So, like, all of that new, that makes me a little nervous. Now, I mean, out of the backfield, I mean, Marks has, like, years where he's had, like, 50-something catches. So, because that was a run for them.
Yeah.
A swing pass was a run for them.
Yeah, it was essentially like an outside zone.
T-Bob, I don't know if I wrote that down yesterday, but like he's like all the records for receiving out of the backfield, he's got every single one of them in Mississippi State history, like every single one of them, because that was a run for them. Hey, let me throw the swing pass. Yeah. This is a toss for us. Pass protection. I mean, there's just so much new. And so with all that being said, you've got 2 games to figure it out. Really 1.5. You've got Southeast Louisiana.
Okay,
Look, playoff team every single year in the FCS. You're going to win that game, though. Arizona, who Jeb Fish had 5 wins last year, from 2 wins the year before, improved football team. You get them at home, you'll win that game.
They got Deloria. What's theirs?
They got Washington State's quarterback.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so still feel good about it. It's at home. It's in Starkville. It's going to be hot, right? I've seen Arizona try to play in the South before. That doesn't work out well for them. But then, T-Bob, you go LSU at South Carolina, Alabama. If you don't have it figured out by then, that defensive front for LSU, those two guys in the middle, will make your life a living hell that day.
Yeah.
Same thing at South Carolina, trying to come up with new checks, new formations, new terminology, and one of the best crowds that we have in the SEC. Same thing for the LSU game when you play Alabama. You better have all that figured out. Now, once you get it figured out, if you do, bye week, okay, great. Whew, let's take a breath. We just had Western Michigan. At Arkansas, at Auburn, Kentucky, at A&M. For Mississippi State, the key to them being successful or being a failure is going to be how quick can all the new come together.
Yeah.
Because we're not talking about minor changes. We're not talking about new coordinator, using the same terminology, getting used to each other. We are talking about going from drastic change to pro-style offense. That quarterback,
there's probably nothing more
back,
drastic in college football than what Mississippi State. Like in terms of change, there's probably not a team in all of college football that's doing as much of a wholesale change.
How about the verbiage even?
Yeah.
T-Bob, a play for them last year, Will said A6. I was like,
wait, that was it?
And I kept going like, yes, continue.
Wait, but like, what's the formation?
A6.
What?
11 doubles,
wait,
all
just
verts.
A6?
A6.
What?
He said they ran a whole drive where A6 was the only play. A6.
I've actually heard this about Mike Leach. I can't remember. One of the LSU staffers was working with Leach. I'm talking to him randomly like a spring a couple of years ago. He was like, yeah, we had like 13 plays. So that I guess that makes it. So what is it now?
So now it's like a real verbiage. Like jack right, scat right, 99 stop, F cross, M, H, swing. You know what I'm saying?
That's tough, Bo.
And so like the A6 part of it, not to get too nerdy or technical, like the outside receivers, they like it was 4 verts, but everything could convert within that. So the 4 verts you could keep on your vertical routes, but you also could have the opportunity to have 12 stops, which 12 stops is comebacks. To anybody that's ever played Madden or whatever. So they had the ability to convert that.
So is the receiver just reading that, like the receiver and the quarterback, like they're playing
Yes, they got to be on the same page, yeah. The 2 inside guys, depending on if it's cover 2 or what coverage it is, one of the inside guys, he'll have the ability to bend that seam into a post.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll have that. And then the running back, I don't know if they declared it. I don't know if the quarterback had the autonomy to be able to go out there and tell him what to run or if it was just a check down over the ball. But that was it. So you could convert the routes, and so it changed up a little bit, but there's still not a lot of variations that you can run with. I mean, you're talking about either a stop or a go. You're talking about either a post or a seam route. And so a whole drive just going A6, doubles, 11 personnel.
Bruh,
the protection was a zone protection.
Golly,
it's like punt.
Yeah,
like the offensive line had punt, like pro-style punt responsibilities. Where it's like, what was it? Inside hand zone, outside hand man, and that's what they were doing.
Dude.
So now, T, you're going from doing that, which it was successful for them.
They were 9-4.
It worked for them.
They were 9-4.
But now you're going out there, you're spitting out a play call. Guys are lining up all over the place. I'm sure you're going to have pre-snap movement, which they never had before really a ton of either. And all that's got to happen while you're playing LSU on the road against South Carolina and Alabama.
Ooh, that's fascinating, bro. I still don't know what to expect. I do know this, though, Jake. It is a positive to have a quarterback with the experience. Like obviously, right, duh, T-Bob. But when you're going through all this change, is that Liam Cohen? Oh. Liam Cohen. Do you want to come on? Do you want to come on, dude? Hell yeah, dude. All right. For real though, Connor, you want to come on? You want to come on next? All right. Look, when you're going through all that, having Will Rogers has all the experience, that's going to work out great. All right, look, when we get back, we're going to have Connor Garr, Saturday and South. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. Our coverage this week is also brought to you by Rev Business and Relief Windows. More from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days is coming up next on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has $8,000 off MSRP, plus 1.9% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks, along with Bayou Ford's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCoRoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Termite damage, and with a lifetime guarantee. So if your HOA requires your home to have wood windows, then go to where South Louisiana has gone for over a decade. ReliefWindows.com today.
Is your AC ready for the Louisiana heat? Don't wait for it to break down. Call Winter's Air. Winter's Air heating and cooling experts prevent unexpected problems and keep your home feeling like winter all summer long. Call Winter's Air at 788-7488 or visit wintersair.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We're talking Arkansas, Florida, Kentucky, and Alabama. See if the doofus with the ring hat showed up in Nashville. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Said, son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces and knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind my saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by HUDCO Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
And his face lost all expression.
It's kind of weird strapping him down, though. It feels like a straitjacket. Yeah. Welcome back to OTB. Talking to Connor O'Gara, Saturday down south. It's not actually Liam Cohen. The joke is that he looks like Liam Cohen. Also, Connor, I still cannot wait for Anthony Richardson to be badass.
In
look,
football?
Yes, in football, bro.
Or
Just
basketball.
wait.
Great basketball highlights. Backflips?
Dude, that was tight, though. Although, he almost got...
You're going to pull that out.
He almost got, wait, why am I blanking? LA Clippers. He almost got Paul George on that dunk highlight that was going viral the other day. Did y'all see that?
Oh, sick.
Anthony Richardson was playing a little pickup, and he threw down like a badass two-handed dunk, but like that backstop was entirely too close.
I bet Shane Steichen loved that.
I was about to say, Steichen called him up immediately. He was like, bruh, I know you need to stay in shape, but this ain't happening. Connor, what's up, though, dude? What's happening, man?
We're hanging out. This week is such a blur, but I feel like we've lacked fireworks already. And I'm not trying to poo-poo media days or anything like that. I love seeing everybody. I love coming here every single year. But I feel like we have lacked fireworks. I think the GOAT needs to bring some of his own today.
It's Alabama Day. We actually haven't even gotten into it. We kind of spent this entire first hour recapping yesterday. But yeah, it's Saban Day.
Can I ask you something on because I want to pivot away from Saban, because I know you don't want to talk about that. It just gets your blood boiling in ways that human beings shouldn't.
No. So my new bit is I'm indifferent towards Alabama. I mean,
who cares?
2-2 the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Like there's a new big dog, Kirby Smart. Like it's kind of like Alabama's a little irrelevant, quite frankly.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Georgia's going to be the pick to win the SEC for the first time since 2004, which is crazy to think about.
Wait, is that true? I mean, that'll be the first time that Georgia's been since 2004?
Since 2004.
What?
Yeah, think about that. Bama has been the pick to win the SEC every year since we messed up the Jeremy Johnson thing in 2015.
Oh,
yeah. That is. Boy, did we. Oh, man. And LSU.
Wait. That was Auburn? Was that the. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
my God.
dude.
We thought he was going to be
Jeremy Johnson.
Good.
Wait, why did we think Jeremy Johnson was going to be so good, dude?
Because people were comparing him to Cam Newton, which, again, like I
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, yes. You just look. I scolded Gary. I scolded Gary yesterday for comparing KJ Jefferson to Cam Newton. I said, let's just early Big Ben. Let's just come up with something that isn't Cam Newton. Let's stop comparing human beings to Cam Newton.
Newton's the best football player I've ever seen live on a college football field.
Sick brag. You were on a football field with Cam Newton.
He's
on the sideline. I mean, he played defense.
We were Dragon Ball Z fans, and at the time, I felt like I was facing Final Form Frieza. I was just like, I don't know what to do here, dude. We're done.
Super Saiyan, did I do that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Nailed
Goku
it.
ends up going Super Saiyan in the
Connor.
Frieza saga. Nice job, Connor.
Sure.
Look at you.
I totally know what that is.
All right, sorry, we're getting distracted. Go back.
Okay, so I'm really interested to see kind of like this entire dynamic of whether or not Bama is actually going to be the pick to win the West. Because LSU has way fewer questions.
I'm kind of assuming that LSU is going to be the pick. Am I wrong?
I wouldn't assume that. I think the crowd. I think the crowd to pick LSU has been louder than the crowd to pick Bama. I'm picking Bama. I've already said, I'm picking Bama to win the West. I don't want to be the person just don't want to be wrong. on freezing cold takes. Yeah, which Fred gets me every once in a while. Fred got me a couple years ago for an A&M take after 2020, which I said A&M is just getting started. And I'm like, all right. I was also the same guy last year that said A&M was the most overrated team in college football. I didn't think they were going 5-7. But now A&M, yikes.
See, so I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of different on A&M. I've come all the way back around.
I have too, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, they should be the third best team in the West.
Well, hell, they didn't make a bowl game last year. So
well, I know. And so, but I think the point is like, we talked about it. It's all the injuries to quarterback, young, whatever. The point is, just be careful. Like, I think doubting them too hard for last year. Last year feels like an aberration.
If they have the right scheme, they should be good.
Yeah.
They have all of the weapons. Their receiving core is phenomenal. Evan Stewart's a dark horse guy to lead the SEC in receiving
no one
this
talks
year.
about Evan Stewart. I always think about Naismith and Moose. I don't think about Evan Stewart.
Go back and watch that Bama game and some of the plays that he was making.
Okay.
I mean, Evan Stewart is going to be one of those guys that really pops this year and could be a guy who benefits from having a competent offense, because they haven't had that the last 2 years, and it's been a disaster. I was talking to Jordan about this yesterday, and one of the things that, like, when they did their breakdown of how much pre-snap motion they're doing, like how many things they're doing to actually disguise the look,
when they did that against South Carolina and they did that full breakdown, it was a revelation. And then, of course, in the game against LSU, they're willing to actually do some of these things, run tempo.
Yeah,
and
they just beat LSU's ass, quite frankly.
Like a
They
drum.
bullied LSU.
I mean, big time. But, like, that's the best version of what this A&M team can be. And there's still a world in which that can exist. But I'm here for all the Petrino Fisher content. It's been fabulous this entire offseason.
Let me ask you on the field, Petrino, though, okay? Missouri State was 65th in the FCS in total offense last year. Nobody talks about it. No, I don't. No, there's no buts. Nobody talks about it.
I want to hear the butt. I want to hear the butt.
Okay, this is Connor's show.
You're right.
No, I'm sorry, but because I agree with you. I agree with you on the Missouri State.
You're right. You're exactly right. But did you watch the Arkansas game and say to yourself,
No, my bad, dude. My bad, Jake. I should not have interrupted you.
One game, and now people can get ready for that.
No, get out of here. That's how you're probably a better button.
No, it's hiding. It's hiding because we're so intrigued by it. Are they going to fight each other? That they were 65th in the FCS, and they had FCS players going against FCS players.
Yeah, I mean, true.
You're right. You're 100% right. And there was definitely a part of me that I'm going to look back and be like, okay, maybe I looked too much into the Arkansas game. But I watched that game and I thought to myself, he still got it. He still got it.
Arkansas at times last year couldn't stop a nosebleed either.
They had the worst pass defense in college football last year.
Yeah,
it was
they
bad.
Were awful.
They were so bad.
So,
but there were some schemes in there. They had a fourth down call in that game that they ran on play action. That was just like Bobby Petrino's still a wizard. I will still trust.
I'm not
trust him to run my offense.
I'm not saying that for like even a 3-game stretch that he couldn't do that. I just don't know for a full season. It's not as outdated as Jimbo. Like, that's Jimbo's problem.
Yes.
Like, it's outdated.
Yes.
Like, Petrino, like, is it going to be enough of a blend to really work? Because there was games Missouri State just got completely shut down in the FCS. And so I feel like almost it's a good thing for A&M. We're talking about the relationship on the field. Like, are they going to fight each other in the booth or whatever? But it's like, is it even going to work? Like, that's
you're
question.
right. Like, that conversation kind of covers up the base conversation of, like, is Petrino still actually good?
Yeah. I mean, I know he's had a Heisman Trophy winner not that long ago, but there's still some question marks.
Yeah,
same thing with Mike Bobo in Georgia. Like, look,
very much.
Bobo's had a lot of success in the SEC, but look, Aaron Murray hadn't played a long time.
Right? 9 years ago.
He's been fired his last 3 opportunities, basically.
I agree. When that hire came out, I was stunned at the amount of people that were just like, oh, yeah, Bobo is going to be fine. If you go back and you look at the coordinators who have total autonomy on their side of the ball who have won a national championship, do that during the playoff era and tell me that Mike Bobo is a guy that belongs in that group, because he's not.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
And that's the question that I have about this Georgia team. That's why I can't pick Georgia to win the national championship. I could see a world in which Georgia's up 10 points at halftime in a national championship game, and all of a sudden the Bobo sets in. And all of a sudden, these play calls just aren't working, and it's 3 and out, it's 3 and out, it's 3 and out, and Ohio State comes roaring back, and Ohio State undoes what happened last year and wins that game.
Do you feel like Todd Monken gets undervalued? Because I do.
Yes.
Yes, dude. That's my whole reason why Georgia's not going to win 3 natties. Georgia fans took Stetson Bennett for granted, and they're taking Todd Monken for granted right now.
Do you know the MVP of the 1936 Minnesota team when they three-peated? And what his nickname was?
No, tell me,
cannot
please.
wait for this.
It was the great Ed Widseth. They called him Big Ed. Big Ed weighed 220 pounds.
Big Ed weighed 220?
He weighed 220.
Say, Bo, that's a big man. That's old Big Ed over there, Bo.
Look, Big Jake, I like it.
Yeah.
Look, food was harder to come by in the 30s. You know, I mean, I get it. No, I'm always saying that, too. Like, functionally, three-peat's never been done.
Yeah, there's a reason why it hasn't been done. And you look at the offseason and that you're like, okay, you're reminded success is really hard to sustain, and it doesn't have to go the way of the late 2000s Florida teams, but there is a world in which that can happen.
Connor Gore, Saturday Down South. I'm sorry, we you had a point you're making with the SEC West, and then we just went down multiple different avenues.
He was bamboozled thinking you get to talk his
Thank
talk.
you so much, Russ. Sorry for just yelling at you to get you on, but always fun, man.
Not the
always
first time,
fun,
not the last. Appreciate it, guys.
True, absolutely. Not the first time. Look at you. That's a damn good bit, Bo. That's like a long time listener, first time caller. That's a good bit.
Exactly.
I'm gonna steal that one. All right, coming up next, more Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Why right. Go to Riverlands Insurance, 225-206-1517, 225-206. It's O'Gara. I've been saying O'Gara for like 5 years now. I'm sorry, bro. I get a lot of Hebert, so I apologize, dude. 225-206-1517, Riverlands Insurance. Look, man, you need someone who's going to save you money. You want to hit up my guy Thomas' email today. That's his cell phone number that I just gave you. You call up Thomas, and, he's going to do all the work, okay? You give him a couple pieces of information. He goes around. He finds you the best policy to money. It's not just about getting you the cheapest, right? He's going to give you all the coverage you need while saving you money. And it doesn't matter if it's home insurance, auto, business, anything, everything. It's all there for you at Riverlands Insurance. So again, do yourself a favor. Call 225-206-1517.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Get 3.99% financing on select 2023 models at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer.
It's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, and Kentucky all take their turn for Media Days. We're live from Radio Row. Join us 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Come on, Pelican.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing, All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Is it O'Gara or Guerra? I'm confused. I keep Guerra. God, I feel like such a dick. It's a bad. No, he should. We're back on air. He should have corrected me. I feel because look, I deal with a lot of Hebert. You know.
I know.
So I've been there. No, but I need to be corrected. But for years I've been saying it wrong.
About 10 times.
I know, dude. I know. But it's like sometimes stuff gets locked in your head, and there's just no. Even now, is it O'Gara or Gar? It's O'Gara. O'Gara. It's impossible. It's never going to happen. All right, look, coming up today, you can start to feel a bit of the juice starting to pop off, and that's because, Jake, why do you think the juice is starting to pop off a little bit?
Because Vanderbilt was here yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Hometown team, right?
Recapping
everybody
everything.
Fired up.
Yeah.
It's Alabama Day here, folks.
Look, yesterday when I looked over there, I saw Cole Kulik in a little polo and some, like Lululemon slacks. Saw Greg kind of in some jeans, I think, in a polo, Greg McElroy. When Greg McElroy comes in suited and booted with a pink shirt.
Oh, that's true. You called him out because Greg was like, because Cole's like, oh, you're just like dressing down today.
Yeah,
and Greg was like, what do you mean? It's SEC Media Days. And you said, I know you ain't gonna. You told me that. I know you're gonna be worried that when Nick shows up. And look at our guy today, dude.
Yeah, full tie on, ready to go, got the whole suit on. So yeah, it means Alabama.
You nailed it. Oh my God, absolutely nailed it. Alabama Day here at SEC Media Days, Jake. And again, I've talked about it. What concerns me is that Alabama has more legitimate bulletin board material than they've ever had, than I could ever think of in my entire life.
Yeah, T-Bob, how far does that go? I mean, honestly, that's not rhetorical. Like, how far does it go for you? Because it goes farther for some players, but some just don't give a damn.
No. Okay, so I think
am I going to work harder? Am I going to play harder? Like, stuff. I
think it's impossible to quantify.
Yeah, there's something to it, but like I think we're making so much of it. I'm like Nick's not going to coach harder.
So here's where I arrive
start calling
at.
him Nick because I just called him Nick, and if I say
I can't call him Nick, dude. Saban. If anything, I don't have the coach in there, but he's Saban.
I do.
Listen to this, like a little bit of breaking news. I just think this is so funny. I mean, I think you'll appreciate because football guy.
Yeah.
Zach Arnett's wife had a baby yesterday.
What? And he was here at SEC Media Days? Wait, hold on. And no one knew?
Well, okay, so I just talked to Brian Haydad. It's not officially confirmed, but he said all the message boards are saying it, and he knew that she was due. Like she was.
Oh my God!
I mean, maybe it happened on the ride home. You know, like maybe he got back.
But honestly, he has to be. Like that is a weird part of the job. Like he actually has to be here.
He was only here for a couple hours.
Can I come like a day before, Greg?
No, like he actually has to be here, dude.
Well, he was only here for a couple hours. I mean, they flew in, flew out.
Yeah,
but
for sure. That's wild.
That is some football guy stuff. And he reads Meathead football guy to me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, he is. And he might be, the head coach of the all-Meathead team, which, again, term of endearment coming from me. He's all about ball.
He is.
So, I guess it's not even maybe that surprising.
Well, actually, I was listening to a pretty interesting interview with Mike Golick the other day, senior. And he was talking about how him and his wife, he was being asked about, like, what did you used to do if your wife was pregnant? Like, what would you have done if the baby was born, like a Sunday?
Yeah.
And Golick's wife was very upfront about, no, you go play the game. That's how we make our, and then you can come
Labor's a long process.
See me afterwards.
Well, depends on who you are.
I guess it wasn't for me, but I guess
that's true.
Zach Arnett would have missed me.
Football guy, dude.
Katie's watching Tommy Tanks at the walk-off home run. She's like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. It was like a push and a half, and here comes baby Harlow.
Okay. Before we go to break, the bulletin board material. I think it goes farther maybe at a school like Alabama simply because they've had to try to fight complacency. 4 and 5 stars can get a bit full of themselves. And now, I mean, bro, I remember Tommy Moffitt putting up quotes on all of our weight racks back in the day, and they used to piss me off and get me motivated.
Okay, so it did for you. It worked for me too. I had my recruiting profile up in my locker.
Yeah, I was about to say, you have I was about to say, yeah, for sure.
So we're different. Here's also another thing, though. You know what we didn't have? Social media. So bulletin board material is 365 now.
Oh, yeah, I guess
it's no longer, let me get the press clipping, let me put it up in my locker because this person said that one time. When you go on social media as one of these players, good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter who you are, someone is talking that ish about you.
Yeah.
Someone is throwing hate at you. Okay, so these players that are playing now, they're kind of used to it. It doesn't bother them because they see it. Now, it might bother them, but they see it all the time. So it's not that, hey, press clipping of this Georgia player saying that when LSU comes to town, man, they don't have any chance. Like, that doesn't happen anymore because now you have trash talk every single day on this platform that's got millions upon millions upon millions of users. And so it doesn't, like, if I hear someone else say that about Coach Saban again, I'm like, okay, yeah, but I think we're looking too much into this. He's not going to coach any different.
Well, but that's where it gets weird and hard to quantify, right? Because it's not that you coach different. Like, obviously, like, you're going to approach the same way. But I do think that doubt has the ability to create an edge, but it's kind of impossible. Like, I'll never be able to prove this, right? Like, there's no way of me being able to, like, look at what this was said.
And that probably lasts. It probably lasts till the kickoff, and then T-Bob, once the ball's kicked, you're swimming in it.
Oh no, for sure. But I think the edge comes more in the preparation.
Yeah.
Right, and making sure like you're doing the extra things. You're not you don't think you've arrived, right? So you're doing the film, you're doing the extra work. But I mean, you're probably right, dude. Maybe I'm just guilty of reading too much into this. Remember our coverage here at SEC Media Days brought to you by Hugco Roofing. All the way through Thursday. Remember, you can find the highlights from all the week at 104.5 ESPN's YouTube channel. Coverage also brought to you locally by Rev Business and Relief Windows. Shout out Rev Business and Relief Windows. We'll close up hour number 2 as you can feel the Alabama Tide starting to enter the room. More off the bench coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, dude. You need your next vehicle, whether you're looking to buy new, used, maybe you want a Toyota certified used vehicle or you still get that warranty coverage. Maybe you just want to rent because you're going to Disney or something. You go to All-Star Toyota in December. I'm pumped, dude.
Okay, so that's a long time away, but okay. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm already pumped. Yeah, Rivers opened the door last night and said she's going to Disney, and I just immediately started just throwing up Disney advice and facts on her. But the point is, if you want to have great deals thrown up on you for your next vehicle, you want to go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
That's a way to say it, but I guess that gets the job done.
MSRP.
And if you want to check out those per-day rental prices that T-Bob's talking about because you need a Sienna, Sequoia, something a little bit bigger for that vacation, go to their website. You can see it right there on the homepage, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our coverage this week is also brought to you by Rev Business and Relief Windows. More from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days is coming up next on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This summer, retirement is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an early bird special, grab a Coors Light and chill like you're retired.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,500 off MSRP on all new 23 Ram 1500 Laramie trucks in stock. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or
Handyman, it's the Hump Day edition of Live at Lunch, live from Roca Pizzeria on Government Street in Mid-City. Live at Lunch, live from Roca, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Billy Joe shot a man while robbing his castle. Bobby Sue took the money and run. Go on, take the money and run. Go on, take the money and run.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Starting to crank up here at SEC Media Days. What started as a bit of a sleepy day 3 has suddenly exploded into a veritable beehive of activity. You can tell it's Bama Day.
Ugh,
I know, dude.
They're smart putting it like later in the week this year.
Even in Nashville, Bama still hits. Okay, Jake, so you're right. I'm probably guilty. Not probably. I am guilty of being one of the bulletin board material losers. So what do you think about Bama this year?
It's still the biggest question mark is going to be the most important position. That's just it is what it is. I don't know that the receiver group is highly impressive right now either. It's not to say they don't have talent, but look across the league. Like, that's not the best receiving core in the league. They're starting over at running back. And you know, I know they kind of had running back by committee-ish last year and certainly guys that got carries last year, but you're starting over there as well. So there's question marks. I mean, when you look at this team, there was things last year that they didn't do well. Did they get those things fixed? They're yet again starting over with a new offense and defensive coordinator. Like, that's a big deal to me. Like, who's to say Tommy Rees is going to be successful?
Well, bro, I mean, maybe I'm just burned by the LSU's experience, but I'm just not a Kevin Steele guy.
Kevin Steele.
Even though I called Kevin Steele a wet fart hire on Alabama radio yesterday, and they looked at me like I grew a third eye.
Who?
Like, is it not a wet fart hire? Wes Neighbors and Steve.
Well, I mean, they're homers.
No, for sure. But, like, I feel like even as
give me the last great Kevin Steele defense.
You would have thought that I had said something that was, like, laughable.
That same thing with that. How I feel about Bobby Petrino and Connor kind of gave me that look. I'm like, dude, Connor, he was 65th at Missouri State.
Yeah.
Like, you can come up with a game plan against Arkansas, and you can empty all the tool belt of everything that you have available. You can do all of that, but like, that's one game. You were 65th against the opponents that have the same talent as you.
You know where Alabama actually needs to get it fixed, and this is one thing that Wes was right about? The offensive line. They've gone soft a bit. He claims it's a coaching, say they don't get low, they don't fire off, just awful technique. But, like, I saw Texas last year dominate that Alabama offensive line. Like, Texas was not good. They were 8-5. They had a good defense, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, like, they kicked Alabama's ass when it comes to, like, getting after Bryce Young, rush the passers, stopping the run.
A&M kind of got after him, too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they still have the elite talent, but the offensive line has probably been the kind of sneaky, and Bryce Young masked it all, but that's been the sneaky downfall.
That was so you're telling me you're going to lose Bryce Young and Will Anderson and be better?
I know, dude. I know. I feel you, man.
I'm not saying they're going to be a bad football team.
No, you're right about that.
But there's still question marks about it. There's only 2 schools in the entire SEC that are returning quarterback and coordinator on offense.
And LSU, on offense. So offensive coordinator and quarterback come back. LSU and Ole Miss.
LSU and Vanderbilt.
Oh, go Clerkley. Maybe Ole Miss, kind of, if Lane Kiffin's kind of the guy, kind of. But yes, your point stands. No, your point stands, dude. Remember last year this time, Jake, at SC Media Days, we were talking about Alabama taking the best 3 players that had ever been seen.
Yeah.
And that still holds up. I mean, where did Battle end up doing? Where did he end up getting drafted? It doesn't matter. The point is they had the first pick and 3rd overall pick, right? So, like, it was like, oh, my God, this team looks unstoppable, and they weren't that. So that's a great question. You're going to tell, can they get better losing Bryce Young
3rd round
and
pick,
Will Anderson? I'm going to be very interested to see. This is also, though, Jake, the first time where Nick Saban's not the big dog. Kirby Smart is.
Oh, yeah. This is his media day.
That's weird.
He's the standard.
That's weird.
It is. And again, like, that doesn't mean Alabama can't go win 10 games. It doesn't mean they can't do a lot of special things. But you can't tell me right now that if Tyler Buckner's behind center compared to Bryce Young a year ago, that they're going to be a better football team. I cannot get you there.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if they do get good quarterback play, then they're immediately championship relevant, though, I would think. Well, and the offensive line's got to improve. Remember, our coverage of SC Media Days brought to you by Hugco Roofing. You can find all the highlights of the week on 104.5's ESPN YouTube channel. Also brought to you locally by Rev Business and Relief Windows. Shout out to the partners for having us here. It's cranking up over here. Hour 2 is in the books. Hour 3 coming up next. Keep it locked right here on 104.5 ESPN.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com. Patientplusuc.com. And from the moment you set eyes on Patient Plus, you're going to see the difference because you're going to be like, oh, my God, look at this building. Then you're going to go inside. You're like, oh, my God, look at these facilities. And then you're going to go into your room, and you're like, oh, my God, there's so much room for activities. What is this? I've never had anything like this before. That's the difference with Patient Plus, right? An investment in the highest quality care, okay? So you can feel confident that you're being taken care of. And look, it's not, hey, look, for all your family, any urgent care needs, they got your back. But also, if you're a business, you need your occupational medicine needs met, Patient Plus is there for you.
There's going to be a location that is convenient for you in that Baton Rouge area. They're all about convenience over at Patient Plus. And so if you have something like stitches happen at an inconvenient time, they're going to be that convenience for you. So go to their website, patientplusuc.com. Get in and get better.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like Hudco, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Bayou Ford has $8,000 off MSRP, plus 1.9% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks, along with Bayou Ford's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCoRoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Wednesday, July 19th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 100. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the SEC Media Days in Nashville, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Day 3 of SEC Media Days 2023. We got Caroline Fenton coming up here in about 30 minutes. Now a Nashville native, of course, an LSU girl at heart. Locked on LSU, I believe, is Caroline as well. Nowadays, shout out Ross Jackson, holding it down. Look at Kool-Aid McKinstry's chain, dude.
That's pretty cool.
He has a Kool-Aid man. I mean, this thing is iced out. And there's a Kool-Aid man on top of a giant iced-out number 1. That's pretty good. All right, so we talked about Alabama. They're not the only team showing up today. You also have Florida. You got Kentucky. And you got Arkansas.
How about that real quick before?
Yeah.
Florida's coming today, and we are 2 hours and 2 minutes into the show, and we're just now mentioning Florida's coming today because of where they're at right now.
I was going to say, and to further that point, Jake, it's like, I could start with Kentucky or Arkansas and feel like, like it's not like Florida, Kentucky, and Arkansas kind of feel like the same a little bit, which is wild because there's no way that they should be. I think Billy Napier is going to have some very tough questions to answer today.
Yeah, at the way last year went, the way it ended, the way that this year is trending. And, I mean, you could talk about who's coming as far as recruits in the future, but even that, that's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed those recruits are going to be anything. So, yeah, and Dan got fired after going – in 4 years, Dan went to 3 straight New Year's 6 games.
Yeah.
And he got fired.
Yeah.
Now, it was because of recruiting, and they wanted him to recruit more. But still, on the field, way more successful and trending in the right direction than what Billy Napier has right now. And the cover was a little bare because of the recruiting stuff Dan didn't do, but still, you don't go 6-7 at Florida, and it looks like maybe 5 wins this year and just survive. Like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around them being okay with it.
5 wins this year?
Pull it up.
All right. Oh, my internet just crapped the bed. Let me see if I can get it working.
I think everybody's here just kind of.
Yeah, I literally think the hotel's internet just. Oh wait, I'll use my phone. Oh, that's right. Phones have internet.
There you go, Bo.
I forgot about that. Remember when you first saw a Sidekick and an internet, and you were like, "What?" I remember randomly I loaded the Games Workshop page on my boy's Sidekick when it was black and white, not in color.
We also have a card, Wi-Fi card, if y'all want to do that.
Okay. All right. Let's see the Florida schedule. Surely, because like you tell me 5 wins, Jake, that feels beyond the pale.
Okay.
Like
here.
there's just
no way.
I
go through it.
I got it right here. So Florida's going to Utah.
Loss.
Finishing off the home and home.
Loss.
You're going loss.
Yes.
Even though they beat Utah last year. But they beat him simply because
they had Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a superhuman, and that was in the swamp.
True. Okay. Loss off the bat. McNeese, whatever. Then Tennessee
Loss.
in the swamp.
Loss.
Yeah. Charlotte.
Win.
What the hell happened here?
At Kentucky.
At
Loss.
Kentucky. Then you're gonna have to you're gonna have to read.
That's what I was trying to do. Yeah. At Kentucky, loss. Vanderbilt at home.
That should be a win. That should be a win.
Even though Vanderbilt beat you a year ago.
Yeah, but that has to be a win.
At South Carolina.
If you lose to Vanderbilt 2 years in a row, you get fired.
At South Carolina, loss. Georgia, loss. Arkansas, I'll give them a win at home, just for the sake of the game. All right?
Yeah.
At LSU, loss. Missouri, November the 18th, on the road, Como. Let's say we give them a win. Let's give them a win here.
Give them
5, because you ain't winning Florida State.
What? Bro.
That's 5, and we had 3 that were like,
benefit of the doubt, and that's only 5 wins. That's tough, Bo. But the thing is, I still think Billy Napier is a good coach.
I do too.
I think it's so hard to do what he did at UL. Like, I don't think you just lose that. So then what's holding him back at Florida? Like, because it sounds like not only do you feel like okay, let me ask you about this. So this year you don't think it's going to go well, but do you believe in Napier long term at Florida?
They're doing big things in recruiting, but if you win 5 games, do those recruits stay with you?
Yeah.
You finally are starting to go in the right direction in the NIL space, and you've finally built some new things around the campus, but once the dust settles, is everything going to look like it looks now as far as the recruiting class? And I don't know. I don't know that. I mean, you're going to tell me kind of same situation we have with Alabama. You're going to tell me that Florida with Graham Mertz is going to do anything better than Florida had with Anthony Richardson?
And losing guys like Torrance.
They have 2 really good running backs, and if they go in there and Rob Sell and Billy Napier come up with a run-heavy offense to keep them in games, keep the clock moving, okay.
I mean, it is interesting. What's Florida's identity? Every team kind of has something that you can think about, and you say, okay, that's what they do, right? I don't know. I guess I don't even know because in the Urban Meyer era of Florida, when they were winning national championships, he was so ahead of the curve with the zone read offense, right?
Yeah.
And the offense was overwhelming, and Tim Tebow, the run pass threat was it was putting people into mental pretzels. In the Dan Mullen era, certainly, again, it was the offense, but we all knew about Mullen's play calling acumen, where it didn't matter. Look, he could make a big running quarterback work, and then he proved with Kyle Trask that, okay, look, if we need to throw the ball, we can make that work as well. I guess McElwain, maybe a bit offensive, but kind of a little more. Maybe I didn't. I just what is their identity? What do you think? Do you think it's going to be running ball? You mentioned the running back room.
I think it has to be.
Do they have the offensive line for that? We'll see.
It's not what it was a year ago, but when you look at their strengths, and I think ETN was a really good running back last year. I think Johnson was a really good running back last year. They were kind of a 2-headed monster, and so they split time. You had one with 8:41, one with 7:19, both over 5.5 yards per carry, but you also had the threat of Anthony Richardson back there. So, I mean, some of that maybe goes down. But if I'm them, T-Bob, even though my offensive line's not as good as it was a year ago, I say, hey, Johnson, hey, Etienne, we are going to line up, and we've got to run the football, and we've got to – because that's what Graham Mertz also did at Wisconsin. I mean, it's kind of what he's probably comfortable with. And not to great success, but that's what he knows as well. And it might have to be that style because I can't see you going out there and with Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall's a good player. I mean, he's going to be here today for Florida, but he was their leading receiver last year with 33 catches. So 33 catches, 661. That was their leader. Now he averaged 20 yards per catch. So, I mean, that's a big number, but is that going to get you to the promised land? No, it's going to have to be a run attack with Johnson and Etienne.
It's just crazy how much Florida seems to have fallen. I don't know. If they go 5 wins.
Who else do they have coming?
If they got Kingsley Guakin, Jason Marshall Jr., Guakin, offensive lineman, Jason Marshall Jr., DB, junior, couple of juniors, a senior. Juniors are interesting. Maybe speaks to a team that isn't as senior-laden as you will ideally want. But if you go 5 wins, is that it for Billy? No way, right? You can't go 2 years and out.
It depends because, I mean, Dan Mullen had one bad year, and he was out. Now, do you have to realize what Billy took over? Do you have to realize that more is coming? Can you have that conversation? Look, went undefeated, and then a year and a half later got fired.
Yeah.
These programs, I mean, Brian Harsin didn't make it 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, these programs just do not have a long leash when it comes to what you can do and to try to rebuild a program. Like, you got to see signs every year that it's going in the right direction. And so if they take a step back this year from a bad season a year before, I just don't know.
This is something that keeps messing with my head, though, Jake, is that there's only so much oxygen in the room, Like, I think Hugh Freeze is going to be good at Auburn. We're talking about Sam Pittman doing a solid job at Arkansas. Lane Kiffin feels like a great fit at Ole Miss. He chose to stay there. Who know about Arnett and company. But, like, the point is, like, there's so many situations where I look and I'm like, okay, I actually believe in this coach, and we know this school can be good. But at the end of the day, like, people have to lose. And there's Kelly, there's Smart, there's Nick Saban. I just like
Josh Heupel and what he's doing.
But like, how does everybody not everybody can win? So it's just it's a weird situation where like maybe that's what gets Napier right. He can still be a good coach, but maybe he just gets squeezed out. Maybe there's just a little too much. Just a little too much in the conference right now.
The one thing that would save him is if you're Florida, you're Scott Strickland. Do I want to start over again? Do I want to have to hit reset again and go through the same process? Or do I think that Billy in year 3 will be better than year 1 of another coach?
I mean, I think you got to at least give him year 3.
I agree.
I think so. I think so. And I think he probably gets that.
It's the fan base there. You're going to have a hard time selling that if he goes 5 wins after going 6 wins last year.
Yeah, I agree. What's up, John? a lot of haggard faces walking by today as last night kind of popped off a little bit.
Feeling good.
Yeah,
your voice is going. I keep thinking we're like.
It's going in and out.
I keep thinking we're on the up and up, and then.
I will say this, though.
We take a dip back down.
Upset of the century, still not a single heater. Not a single heater entire SC Media Week. I think I'm going to keep it that way.
I think that's a good call.
I'm going to keep it away. I smelled one last night, and I almost asked this old 40s couple to bum one.
Old 40s.
Probably 50s. Might be more like 50s. Maybe. Right. I don't know.
Well, you don't need to smoke any heaters because every piece of equipment that we have here smells like Don Juan.
Hell yeah, dude! I just kind of every now and then just lean down and just hit one, just a little bumpy.
Occasionally, I just like catch a whiff, and I'm like, ooh.
I think it smells great, dude.
I mean, cigars
that's
just
what you smell like during football season.
True.
Cigar
Very
smoke
true.
is just it's a tough smell, you know? You're not used to it.
Think about how the entire world just used to smell like that. You know what I'm saying?
Smoke on airplanes?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody just smoking constantly, like the whole world. I mean, the idea of smoking sections, like Waffle House and everything back in the day, is just wild. To think that we had that when we were kids.
My first job out of college, I was a marketing assistant for a law firm, and it was like full service. It was a giant law firm. And I remember we had a New Orleans office, and I would go work in New Orleans sometimes, and we had a smoking room. I mean, this was 2000 this was 2011. We had a smoking room in our law firm, like in 2011.
Well, I mean, good on them for making it a room, because if I was a law firm, I'd just be smoking in my office for sure, like 100%. I just, if it was still allowed where you could smoke inside, I'd be just lighting up right there.
We live in a society.
I would actually trust my lawyer. Like, I kind of want my lawyer to smoke a cigar in his office. Like, I got to know that I have a lawyer that has a little edge to him, that has a little grit. A little nasty.
What year did we stop when we walk into a restaurant? Did they stop asking us smoking or not?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It just kind of happened.
In Louisiana, it was when they changed the law. And that was actually not that long ago, like that you can't smoke in restaurants or bars.
Yeah, that's true. That was like 2015 or something. Because I remember doing radio at the time. And what, they passed it in casinos or
Although that might have stopped, or like asking that question might have stopped, because some restaurants just decided on their own, like, we're not going to do that. But I mean, was there really a smoking and non-smoking section? If you're smoking in the house,
that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of that's the thing you don't like. You can't. It was just normal, right? So you didn't even think about it. It just was what it was. And then now it seems like absurd. Like, it's actually kind of wild how much your brain chemistry can change, because now the idea of smoking in a restaurant seems crazy.
It's wild.
Seems absolutely crazy.
There's
like,
some places you can
the taste
do that.
Of the
like
food.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh, for sure.
100%, dude.
There's
smoking or not, and then if like you're in like a big hurry, first available.
Yes. No, exactly. And then you just go and you hit the smoking section because it's full everywhere
There's
else.
There's still some places in Baton Rouge, which I don't get out a lot to bars, but we used to like to go to brunch at Duvik's, like in the Mid-City area. And I was in there, I don't know, not like super recently, but wow, that place still. There's just so much smoking that happened.
Inside?
No, but there was so much smoking that happened in that building.
It's just built into the DNA.
It's just who we are.
Yeah. All right, look, when we get back, let's go ahead and so we talk Alabama. Arkansas is coming up today. Kentucky as well. You know, Jake wants to talk about his boys in blue.
Go Big Blue.
And so, we'll continue bringing live coverage of Caroline Fenton coming up. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
OTB, OT. Our coverage this week is also brought to you by Rev Business and Relief Windows. More from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days is coming up next on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Go Tigers. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar is the place for the true oyster connoisseur. If you love grilled oysters, we've got the classic char grilled, the lemon butter, the barbecue nola, and the Thai chili oysters. You prefer baked oysters? We got them 5 ways. The Rockefeller, the Brie and Bacon, the Bienville, lobster butter, and crawfish au gras. Jolie Pearl, upscale oysters in a New Orleans-style atmosphere. North Boulevard in the heart of downtown or online at jolieoysterbar.com.
Brandon Holly here. Pick your color, pick your siding. ReliefWindows.com.
1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Join me for a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We're talking Arkansas, Florida, Kentucky, and Alabama. See if the doofus with the ring hat showed up in Nashville. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
In twilight glow I see blue eyes crying in the rain.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Guys, I was not saying that people in their 40s are old. I just meant that this couple was older than me, okay? That's all I was saying. That's all I was saying, Brian. Relax. Hey, Dad's over there getting upset with me. Look, all I'm saying is just older than me. Welcome back to OTB, though. We are live, Day 3 SC Media. It's kind of interesting, Jake. There was a swell of juice in the room when Cooley McKinstry and others are kind of making the rounds, the Alabama players. And now it's kind of dead, and the reason is the GOAT's on the podium.
Yeah, Nick Saban is on the podium. If you didn't know who T-Bob was talking about, you probably did. And when he gets up there, obviously, every year you're going to have a room that fills up very fast. I mean, that thing is packed to the gills. I just saw the door open there, but also like Coach Saban over the last couple of years, like he's had some bites.
Yep,
That's true. That have really caught the traction in the sports media world.
He uses this as an opportunity to stump for whatever his initiative is that he wants. So I'm going to be very. I mean, he'll definitely be re-asked about NIL and everything else and talking about salary. But again, this if I was I don't know that I would say this to him because he intimidates me. But if I had a truly honest interview or conversation with him, when him and Lane Kiffin mentioned stuff like salary cap, I would love to ask them. Well, I would love to point out that actually doesn't make sense because a salary cap would imply the school paying the players, right? And that would be and then so to get how do you can't stop advertising. When he went, how do you stop a business from paying someone to do reads, to do posts? Like a salary cap sounds good. You hear it and you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like an even playing field, absolutely, we should do something like that. But you're talking about controlling the free market. NFL has a salary cap that doesn't stop Pat Mahomes from doing State Farm.
Right.
That and stuff like so. It's like it's one of those comments where it sounds very intelligent, it sounds very right, but immediately when you start to think about it, you're like, wait, that doesn't actually make any sense.
You can't get it done. When we talk about this, we always say the toothpaste is out of the tube, and you cannot put it back in because that's truly what it is. Now that it's been open for as long as it has, if you try to close it back, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to work. You're going to have red tape all over the place. And so even if you were like, okay, well, let's put a cap on how much one team can have in NIL deals, you ain't going to get that done. Like, you can't do that either.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way right now, because it's been as open as it's been, to hone it back in. I don't know what you do, and I don't know how you get it done. But even that, again, I'm with you. That sounds great.
It sounds good.
You can't cap the other
Doesn't
stuff.
make any sense.
You can't do it.
It's especially not. Again, I would encourage anybody to go reread the letter that Justice Kavanaugh sent to the NCAA a couple of years ago, because it even reads differently now than it did then, where he's basically saying, no, the system y'all accepted as being correct was flatly illegal.
Yeah.
For 100 years.
Yeah.
And there's just so I'm going to be very intrigued to see what Saban's kind of angles are this year. I'm also, you know what I bet, if I had to take a bet, I bet you he comes out more positive on the quarterbacks as well. I think because you know how Saban manipulates these things. I don't. When he was talking about coming out of spring, you know, these guys in the room got to ask themselves, are we doing things we need to do, blah, blah. To me, that was just a coach trying to maximize, trying to apply pressure, maybe a little bit of leading with the whip. I think it's kind of carrot time for that quarterback room. I bet you he's going to come out and be pretty bullish on him today.
If he does, I wonder which one he's going to be bullish on.
I don't think he'll get into specifics.
I mean, you have
think
to,
he'll just
a
be
little
on the
bit,
room.
don't you? If you can't just throw a blanket over the quarterback room, can you?
I mean,
make it sound believable.
You won't. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. No, it's not going to sound believable. That's true. I mean,
Okay.
it won't. Like, I think he throws the blanket, but then everybody kind of eye roll because you know there's got to be a lead dog somewhere in there. But I mean, I think it's going to be Simpson. Doing a bunch of Alabama radio yesterday. I think it's probably going to be Ty Simpson.
I'm trying to think who else was on the Ty Simpson bandwagon. If somebody I do a show with on 84, I cannot remember. But the thing to remember is that you're going to have an offensive coordinator that is going to have to learn Nick Saban's terminology. Even though Nick's a defensive guy, they've had the same terminology.
So you think Tommy Rees comes in and he doesn't get to just bring his system over wholesale?
I know, because I mean the last couple of coordinators, like even Bill O'Brien, has had to learn what he wants to do because that's the way Nick wants it. He doesn't want his players having to learn a new terminology in an offseason. It's not the NFL. You don't have as much time.
Yeah.
So if Tommy Rees had his verbiage, okay, Tyler Buckner, you have a leg up. Like, you already speak this language.
Yes.
But now you don't. Now, actually, the other quarterbacks that have been there
the timing
at all,
on Rees is awful too, right? He came out. I mean, he wasn't involved in spring, right?
I think he got there for spring.
Did he get there for spring? I don't think so. I'll look it up. Sorry, continue.
Well, I know we know Tyler Buckner didn't.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I mean. I'm
and
talking
also,
about Buckner.
And also,
no, sorry, I wasn't talking about Rees. Oh, my bad. My apologies.
Yeah.
I meant Buckner. That's what I meant.
Buckner was not there.
Yeah.
But also, you had Tommy Rees, who recruited Sam Hartman to Notre Dame while Tyler Buckner was still on that roster.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, the dynamics of this are all over the place. So, I bring that up to say Tyler Buckner doesn't have this advantage in knowing the verbiage of a Tommy Rees offense. So, Ty Simpson for that reason. But Jalen Milroe will have something. I don't know what it is. He's too talented not to have something. Now, when you have that something, that's always a slippery slope. When do we use it? How do we use it? Do we make sure we're using it? Do we use it too much? It is. But he is too talented to keep off the field. He's not an every down quarterback right now in the SEC, so he'll have something. If Ty Simpson is the guy and Buckner doesn't play, then that means Ty Simpson went and won that job, and that's a good thing for Alabama.
I would say that if I'm an if I'm an Auburn or an Alabama this year, and you have these quarterbacks that are I would look to somebody like the Saints and kind of like Taysom Hill, and how they use him and try to emulate some of those things, because like you said, like it's not a two quarterback system if it's like a package situation, right? It could be a red zone package, maybe a short yardage package. Like Milroe would be very effective in that situation. Rami Ashford would be excellent in that situation as well. And yesterday, Freeze kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
I loved his quotes on Ashford where he was like, look, I don't know if he's ready to be a quarterback in the SEC, but I do know that, like, he can help us win games.
Yeah.
Like he's too much of an athlete. And I would say Milroe probably is even more so. That, like, he's a better quarterback and more of an athlete than even Ashford is.
I think on both fronts, I think you're exactly right there. So you have to use him, and he's got a skill set. And it's good, bad. I mean, we saw some bad, certainly in his starts last year when Bryce Young was out. But he's still somebody that's going to be out there. He's going to be on the field. Do you feel good about any of them if you're an Alabama fan? That's kind of the question. Like, you feel good if Ty Simpson goes and wins the job because Buckner was kind of brought in to kind of stabilize everything. So if Ty Simpson, game one, has the nod, that means he went out there and he won it. It wasn't given to him.
Exactly. And so that is the thing. Like, I think, again, I think because of that competition, I do think whoever wins the job is probably going to be better than we're kind of giving credit for. And again, if Alabama has a good quarterback, then everything else potentially falls into place. All right, look, coming up next here on OTB, remember our coverage brought to you by Hudco Roofing. You catch all of the highlights on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Subscribe also to OTB Saints, OTB LSU. Also brought to you locally by Rev Business and Relief Windows. Shout out to the homies. Coming up next, let's talk to Caroline Fenton, locked on LSU, Nashville native now. Coming next and off the bench.
OTB.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. When you overthink it, don't overthink it. Okay, Central Plumbing, man, they've been at it for 50 years, 5 decades. And you're like, T-Bob, you mention it all the time. Well, I know because, guys, what lasts 50 years, much less what business lasts 50 years, right? Like, the only way you do that is if your customers are satisfied, if you're doing quality work. That's how you achieve success. So, also, that means they have experience, right? New, old, whatever your problems may be. It doesn't matter. They've seen it all. They can fix it all. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552.
Yeah, they have seen it all. They've also seen it all when it comes to something needing an upgrade. When something needs a facelift, they can come in and they can do that. They can do it at your home. They can do it at your business. So go to that website, centralplumbing.org. Check out everything that they can do for you, right? There's not going to be a job too big. If you own a business, you'll see that full fleet is available and ready to go. Call that number today, 225-925-8552.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HudcoRoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, Hudco can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call Hudco Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home in Baton Rouge. I'm ready what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, and Kentucky all take their turn for Media Days. We're live from Radio Row. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've been down the Mississippi, down through New Orleans. Yes, I have. I played in California. There ain't too much I haven't seen.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing. OTB, OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, day 3 of SEC Media Days. It is Alabama Day. But right now, it is our distinct pleasure to catch up with someone who, well, quite frankly, one of my favorite parts of last year's SEC Media Days was watching Jake and Caroline Fenton go toe-to-toe. What was the question? I think it was like, who's going to be third in the SEC? That was like the hot topic, right? It was like, who's going to be third? Oh, wait, I got you. Who's going to be third in the SEC?
There we go.
And I was mind blown because, look, to be fair, I get by on a lot of BS, right? And
Don't we all?
jokes. A lot of BS and jokes. And especially pre-snaps, I wasn't always paying attention maybe to the wider worlds about shit, but I was mind blown by y'all just throwing out rosters and depth charts and players and going toe-to-toe. One of my favorite sparring sessions I've ever seen. Talking about Caroline Fenton, Nashville native now.
Who do we settle on? I don't even remember like part of the argument.
I can't remember. I just remember y'all mentioning names I had never heard in my entire life, and I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, right on, dude.
We were just making up names the entire time. We were plotting that all morning.
Yes.
So I want to play a game. I wish I could. There's no way I could. There's no way to make this happen. But like, I want to put all the players' names at SC Media Days and then headshots of all the players and see who could match them up. I think everybody would fail miserably, but I think you two would probably score higher on that metric the most. Or whatever. Caroline Fenton, radio here in Nashville, LSU, Locked On LSU daily. Go check it out. Incredible. Caroline, what's up? How's your SEC Media Days going so far?
It's been a blast. It's weird having it in the city that I live in.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because I usually go somewhere and it feels like summer camp and I'm staying in a hotel and it's almost like not real work and it's a little different, but it's so fun having everyone in my city giving recommendations, places to go, hitting Broadway.
Where should we go tonight? We went to, where we go? Tootsie's last? We went to Tootsie's last night.
Tootsie's is a blast.
Yeah.
I was telling Rivers about Pushing Daisies.
Pushing Daisies?
Pushing Daisies is a great time.
I feel like I'm going to be pushing daisies right after the show. I'm going to crawl into a grave myself and try to go catch a nap.
Red Door Saloon is my personal dive bar favorite. So if I'm going to tell anyone to go anywhere, Red Door.
Is it better to have a home game in this situation or be on the road for Media Days?
I like being on the road better. I do.
Yeah, you want to get out.
It just kind of feels like normal work now that I'm here.
I agree. You want to get out. There's something to be said for going to the hotel as opposed to going home.
Right, exactly.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so let's start with LSU then.
Yeah.
I think LSU is going to emerge as the media favorite to win the West. We'll see how that works out. But how do you have it scored? Who will you be picking to win the West?
It's tough because whenever people are picking LSU to win the West, I don't know if they genuinely believe it or if they're just anti-Alabamists. Yeah, exactly. Or if they're just trying to throw something different out there. Like if somebody picks Texas A&M to win the West, I'm like, okay, you're trying to be different. With LSU, I really think you could go either way. Where it stands right now, I still think I have to pick Alabama.
Oh,
I know. Because I'm just not buying into, one season where Alabama loses 2 games. Now all of a sudden Nick Saban is washed and the Alabama program means nothing. I think that everything that's being talked about this time of year in talking season, Nick Saban is absolutely collecting all of it and using it as bulletin board material.
I mean, so I agree with you.
And that's a scary place to be.
No, so I agree with you, and that's been my point as well, but
my point is now, in this day and age, that's out there 365 because of social media.
True.
So it's not like when T-Bob and I played, if Scott Rivalay, our guy, wrote a bad article
I saw
about
Rabs
us,
earlier.
Right? Well, it's like that was the headline for the week, and like we sat there and we stared at that piece of paper. I think some of that dies down because now on Twitter, everybody hates everything. And there's so much hate being spewed, and these players see that all the time. And sometimes, like, Coach Saban's not going to coach different because of that. He's not going to – these players aren't going to play harder. They're going to play as hard as they can because if they're not – then they're in trouble.
And they're not going to be at Alabama if they're not playing 100%.
Right. I mean, there is certainly something to it, but I wonder what it means now that we do have social media out there. I guess for me, for Alabama, it's are you truly going to be better without Bryce Young and Will Anderson? Like, those two players are generational, and now you've got a quarterback, whoever it is, probably Ty Simpson. Now, Dallas Turner, who's here, is a great player.
Yeah.
But, like, for me, like, those are 2 key positions, edge rusher and quarterback, that are just incredibly hard already to replace, and now you're talking about 1 and 3 in the draft.
That is where I think LSU has the advantage is the continuity. Not even just over Alabama, over every single team in the SEC. I mean, LSU is only one of 2 teams in the SEC returning a quarterback and an offensive coordinator. Like, that's insane, And Vandy, making that run for the East. So I think that's the advantage to LSU is it's not just Brian Kelly in year 2. It's not just the foundation has already been set. It's basically your entire offense and a big chunk of your defense, not including the secondary, is also heading into year 2 and has already started that foundation and starting off year 2 leaps and bounds where they started last year.
So if you were to look at the SEC as a whole, what team, because it's like, obviously, like most conferences, the top is pretty clarified.
Right.
But it gets really muddy afterwards, right? We're talking like, I think I picked Mississippi State to finish last. But it's only born of ignorance. It's because I don't know what exactly. I mean, they went 9-4 last year. They finished 3rd in the West. So what team do you think is going to, maybe has the most potential for surprise this year?
A&M.
I'm with you on that, Caroline. Look at that, dude. Me and Caroline are simpatico.
We're lockstep today.
I mean, let's go, dude.
Caroline, I don't know if that's really where you want to be after, T-Bob.
That's fair. I'm terribly hungover. My brain's broken.
In the frame of mind that T-Bob is in, that should be scarier than it is encouraging.
True, dude.
But I have no idea what A&M is going to be. Like, I don't know if the Bobby Petrino experiment is going to make Jimbo Fisher look like a genius or an absolute idiot. Like, I don't know if Connor Wegman is going to be able to see his full potential because I think he's the best quarterback that Jimbo has recruited to Texas A&M. So I don't know if he can boom or bust. Or I don't know if this run game can kind of evolve like what it was at the end of last year, like what we saw from Texas A&M's run game against LSU last year. So it was disgusting. I went to 2 LSU games last year, Tennessee and Texas A&M, and it was miserable.
Are you to LSU what Rivers is to Mississippi State now?
Well, Mississippi State baseball.
Maybe
Every time
so.
Rivers goes to Mississippi State baseball, they lose.
I was going to go to the Alabama game, but I thought no. Like, I cannot go to the Alabama game. So you're welcome. I'm never going to an LSU game ever again. But yeah, A&M, I just have no idea what they are going to be. Like, I wish I had a better evaluation other than total ignorance.
Well, the thing about A&M though is also like they return a ton, and also we got to remember, not many teams, no matter how talented you are, would do good when you got 3 different quarterbacks that had to play due to injury.
Right.
You throw to Trevor's like, and then so all I'm saying is I don't know what A&M's ceiling is, but I can guarantee the floor is not where it was last year. Like they're not going to completely fall on their face. I do not believe that.
I would have said the same thing last year, though, too. I would have said 5 wins for Texas A&M. You're crazy.
No, absolutely. But everything's a bit more clarified now, and that you return the entire offensive line. Like Connor Wegman's back.
And Nia Smith is healthy.
Yeah,
that's going to be a huge factor.
They got Arkansas early.
They got as good of a wide receiver. Yeah, so we'll see. But I kind of feel that's maybe the potential noisemaker in the SEC this year.
What about if we go to the other side, though? Because we talk a lot of West.
We talk a lot
not
of
just
West.
here
That's
on this
true.
show. Everywhere I go, it's West. It's not the East because Georgia's the behemoth.
Right.
But, like, what's under them? Like, Tennessee, like, where do you have them? And Kentucky, I've been a Kentucky fan for a long time. I don't think SEC fans know how good Devin Leary is and how good he was at NC State. He broke all of Phillip Rivers' records there, so they're intriguing to me, but we're just not talking about those teams.
And with Devin Leary, I was actually talking to someone about this. They said, rank your top 3 quarterbacks in the SEC, and Devin Leary was in my top 3. And the response was, what? Are you crazy? Who is Kevin O'Leary? And I was like, no, Devin Leary, not
Kevin
the guy
O'Leary's
from Shark
a good
Tank.
name,
He's going to call him Kevin O'Leary for the rest of the way now.
And so I was like, no, like you don't know about him now, but you will know about him. And I think when you plug in Devin Leary into Liam Cohen's offense, they're going to be good.
Yeah.
I just always view Kentucky with a certain ceiling. Like, I don't view Kentucky as a contender for the East, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Kentucky win a couple more games than they should. Like, I think that Kentucky-Tennessee game is going to be for the second place in the East.
I think that Liam Cohen coming back potentially makes a difference there. Because I'm kind of a Kentucky hater.
Build up the offensive line a little bit.
The receivers, maybe not one for one. They don't have maybe the one guy, but as a group, the totality might be one of the best groups they've ever had.
And it's older. You know, you had a couple of freshmen in that wide receiving core this past year. You build up the offensive line, go to the transfer portal, grab an offensive lineman from Northern Illinois, from Alabama. I mean, the offensive line last year was absolutely disgusting.
How do you know
I felt bad
about
for Will Levis.
How do you know, Caroline, about Kentucky's O-line transfers?
You know what?
You have a sickness.
I am a loser. That's what I am. I am a nerd.
That is some sickos committee stuff right there, dude. Congratulations.
And then they go get a running back that started in this town last year as well that nobody's talking about because, you know, he played at Vandy and nobody wants to talk about that. So they added some really nice things.
But am I wrong in saying I just feel like Mark Stoops has a 10-win ceiling? Like, that's the absolute best that Kentucky can do in a single
I think you
season.
misspoke. I think he has an 8-win ceiling.
He's had a couple of 10-win seasons.
What? I'm just saying, dude. I don't know, bro.
You've always been a denier.
I am so down on
Tebow's
Kentucky.
just throwing stuff out there just to stir the pot.
After they had Will Levis and Chris Rodriguez last year, and then you do what
They
you
didn't
did.
get Chris
I'm out,
Rodriguez
dude.
till Game 4 last year.
Yeah, they sucked
Or
after
Game
Game
5.
4. It doesn't matter. Like they lost to they lost to Vandy. I think Vandy was late. It doesn't matter. The point
They
is,
did lose to Vandy.
I'm not a Stoops or Kentucky believer. I think he's done an okay job, but
you'll believe in Nebraska and USC.
Yeah, Nebraska's going to win 8 games. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Nebraska, yeah, and I'll believe in USC because Lincoln Riley is easily a top 10 coach.
And their defense
Maybe
was top
5.
106.
It's fine. That's fine. We're going to see. We're going to see, man. Over time, USC is going to be as relevant as everybody else. What do you want to join the Corn Hub? Nebraska?
That's the Nebraska fan club.
T-Cobb?
Nebraska fan club.
I don't get caught off guard very often, but that just caught me off guard.
I've been asking everybody all week if they want to join the Corn Hub. We got T-Cobb and Husker here. We're the local representatives of Nebraska for the South.
I'm a Wisconsin believer.
Get out of here.
I'm a big Badger girl. A big Luke Fickle girl.
So
yeah.
that's bad because you have
Badger of honor, if you will.
Badger of honor. Damn you.
Phil Longo, Wisconsin.
Yeah, how about that? Air raid in Wisconsin.
That's disgusting.
That feels like it doesn't make any
They got
sense.
rid of their fullback room. They got no grit. They used to have a fullback-only room. They got rid of it.
And who added fullbacks?
Nebraska.
Corn Hub.
Nebraska
Let's go, baby.
and Wisconsin
Let's go.
should have the beefiest offensive linemen and just some big old fat fullbacks.
So no, like
good vintage.
Not even like athletic
football.
ones.
No, just fat.
No, but Matt Rule literally talked about that. Like he has all these quotes out there where he's like, "Look, man, we have to know ourselves and." We're not. He's like, why are we spending so much time lifting weights and doing less agility drills? Because we need to be big.
Because we're thick.
We need to be big and thick.
It is
just
thick boy
lean on
summer.
people.
LSU's
Thick
baseball
boy
team
summer,
showed
dude.
us that.
It is thick
How
boy
about
summer.
LSU baseball run, Caroline? That was pretty fun, dude.
So I was telling Hester this the other day. So I'm a Cardinals fan, unfortunately. I'm willing to trade.
Unfortunately, Cardinals always win. Get out of here.
I sound like an Alabama fan.
Yeah, exactly. Like, get out of here, dude.
I'm
You've had
willing
quite a
to
charmed
forsake.
existence with the Cardinals.
I'm 26 years old, and this is the worst season of my life, so I'll take it. But I will forsake my major league team for an LSU College World Series. That was an absolute
sick,
blast
dude.
of a season.
Oh,
that was so sick. It was so fun.
Caroline Finn, catcher here locally, Nashville, 11 to 2 every single day. Also locked on LSU. Go sub. Maybe some big news coming down the way as well. We'll see. Caroline, thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all. Always a blast.
Super fun. We got more off the bench coming up, but I do want to remind you to go to Rejuve Me Medical, Restore Me, Refuel Me, Rejuve Me. Caroline, how old are you?
26.
Wow. 26. Rejuve Me can make you feel like you're 26. Okay, maybe a little HRT, maybe a little metabolization optimization, maybe some Botox. Whatever the point is, you want to feel younger, you want to feel better, you want to go to Rejuve Me Medical. They got Baton Rouge, Slidell, Metairie, and now Shreveport as well. RejuveMeMedical.com, Restore and Refuel. Rejuve Me. More OTB. Closing out the show next.
OTB, OT. Our coverage this week is also brought to you by Rev Business and Relief Windows. More from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days is coming up next on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
This summer, retirement is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an early bird special, grab a Coors Light and chill like you're retired.
Rev Business started small in 1935. We built our reputation by providing hometown service with Louisiana hustle. For nearly 90 years, we've expanded across our great state, through the swamps and across the Mississippi, bringing fiber optics from the capital to the North Shore and down the bayou to the coast, all to connect your business with the world. Rev is about big business technology with small business personal service, powerful solutions, unmatched local service. Rev Business.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go? Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Get in and get better at Patient Plus.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco, voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225.
Handyman, it's the Hump Day edition of Live at Lunch, live from Roca Pizzeria on Government Street in Mid-City. Live at Lunch, live from Roca, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There's a long black train.
Live from the 2023 SEC Football Media Days presented by Hudco Roofing. OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Sabo.
Say no.
What's going on? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 3. Closing our show, man. Day 3 here in Nashville. Hell of a time. Starting to crank back up a little bit. Saban's press conference must have ended. Hey, do remind you, go to DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app today. Promo code Baton Rouge if you're a new customer. You bet $5 on anything, get $150 in bonus bets. How about that, Bo? It's only a matter of time if you can start gambling on these pressers. Can't right now, though. But though you can gamble on pretty much everything else. DraftKings Sportsbook app, DraftKings. And remember, if you're already a customer, you can always increase them paydays with a little same game parlay. What's that you point out there, Jake?
You mentioned that the All Blacks were shouted out by Kirby Smart yesterday. They gave him, the official All Blacks Twitter account, a shout out. Good luck, Georgia football dogs, with a couple of emojis.
I hate how impressed I am with Kirby Smart.
He's not Kirby Dum Dum like I used to talk about.
Hey, Edo beat that ass. That's all I know, bro.
They did.
Edo beat that ass in Tiger
Twice.
Stadium and in the SEC championship. Yeah.
How did it?
1 minute.
I wasn't talking bad about Coach O.
No, I know.
You got real defensive right
I'm
now.
just saying there was a reason
I like Coach O.
There's a reason I called him Kirby Dum Dum.
Okay.
Because it's funny.
Was that you that said it? I just remember hearing Kirby Dum Dum.
No. In Song of Purple and Gold, he was Kirby Dum Dum. No, that's a Jesse Jetpack Don.
Okay.
Original creation.
Jetpack.
Right there. Thank you for the coverage this week. Thank you to Red Business. Wow, I'm crumbling, bro.
We're not done. We're done, but we're not done this week.
Absolutely crumbling right now.
Cold Cruise Light, Busy
We're
Heart, Delta,
here.
Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet.
Tell them about it, Bo. And then thank you to Red Business, Relief Windows, and Hudco Roofing. Bring your coverage live from Nashville. Obviously, Matt's going to be here this afternoon, recording interviews, getting after it. And a huge thank you to everybody who hangs out with us here every day. Riv's doing an incredible job on site producing. Mara and Taylor back in the booth at home. We'll see you tomorrow.
Here at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, we have in stock 2023 Toyota Tundras, and you can get $1,000 special edition bonus cash. $1,000 bonus cash. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.